Welcome back to Creepcast. Today we are doing our second Twitter ARG, like a year and a half later. But this is the holy grail. This is the holy grail of the Twitter ARGs. It is the sun vanished.
Yes.
Compressed.
The sun vanished compressed. So, the sun vanished is a kind of alternate reality story that began on Twitter in 2018. And the premise was a man woke up one day to find that the sun has gone out. And it started to incorporate a couple of other Twitter accounts. Now, it's a little hard to do a video going through the entirety of The Sun Vanished because the ARG went on for a couple of years and the creator was like replying to people constantly. So it's like reading 2 years of constant, Twitter use. So rather than doing that, we have had some people on the Creepcast team go, and by people I mean one indentured servant who we forced in this. Thanks, Nate. Go through and trim it down to the big points. So this is it is comprehensive for everything that happened in The Sun Vanished, but as you said, compressed.
Yeah, it's going to be the no fat version of the story, but if you want to go experience it, it's all still up there. And This is actually coming from 3 different Twitter accounts: The Sun Vanished, Tucker, and Nat. And it looks like The Sun Vanished stopped posting around 2021, and then the other ones are from the other said
they've
Twitter
continued
accounts.
A little bit after into 2023, I think. So as we talk about, we're going to be talking about what accounts it came from, what the dates are. There's some videos. We're going to watch those together. So if you're not familiar with it, hopefully this is a great introduction, give you an idea for the series. And if you want to check it out for yourself, we'll have the links to everything in the description as always.
Also, disclaimer, the last time I did a Twitter ARG, there was a bunch of eggs and the account only followed Big Mouth Writers. So
wouldn't it be crazy if we get to the end of this?
If we get to the end of this one and I have to fucking check, and if it's a Big Mouth thing again,
it's a picture of John Mulaney.
Can you believe it? You made it all the way through. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. Our first tweet here is from April 30th.
Hold on,
2018.
Don't you want to? I'm at your house again. Our house,
dude. You're here. Are we here? Are we going to record this shit or not? What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Go ahead and make your piece. You got some magic cards there. You got some magic cards while you're here. Is that nice?
We can read the story.
All right, well, let's read the story.
Okay.
April 30th, 2018. Go ahead and start us off.
All right, so we're beginning, of course, with the Sun Vanished Twitter account, which began by posting, "Help."
Preach, brother.
That's it. That's the whole ARG.
All right, there's the first tweet.
Just an account called The Sun Vanished. It just says help.
And that's the story.
That's all.
And honestly, that would be a pretty good story if it just ends on help. Help. All right.
How funny would it be to just start a bunch of accounts that are like, the moon exploded. Help. It's late in the morning and it's still dark outside. I can hear the tornado sirens in the next county over, but the weather radar is clear. Where is the sun? Then we see our first video.
A lot of videos here, which I remember in Gregory 88, there wasn't this many videos and photos, was there?
There was photos. I don't think there's any videos.
This afternoon, panic is taking hold on the nation in response to the sudden disappearance of the sun, with violent riots taking place in just about every major city. We are receiving an influx of reports of ransacking and looting from New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Dallas, and Washington, D.C., with hundreds more isolated incidents coming in hourly. The president made a public statement this morning urging people to remain calm and stay in their homes. Meanwhile, experts are claiming this phenomenon to be an event similar to New England's Dark Day in 1780, and that things will return back to normal.
All right, so there you go. First video. Is something funny? Is this something hilarious to you?
There's actually a couple things I think is kind of funny. I like how one, it's like, okay, so the sun's gone. So he's like completely in darkness in his room, but the TV works, so it's like, God forbid you have a lamp on. So it's like, how do we get across that the sun is gone? Well, I'm in a completely dark room. And then all of a sudden you hear this you hear this like ethereal deer outside of his door, and I was like, I just imagine the sun like this. like poking out like he's an actual being. The sun's gonna attack me. The sun vanished and he's right outside my window.
I think he's looking at me.
I think the sun's been watching me. All right, so basically, though, from the video...
What I was going to say is I think it's a pretty cool inclusion to a Twitter ARG I'm not going to look at you.
What's the cool inclusion, dude?
Shut up. The cool inclusion was that rather than just like basic text posts and stuff like that, it's like there's a news broadcast saying something's happened. Rather than like, oh, why doesn't he have the lights on? It gives me the vibe of like he woke up in the middle of the night, or like what he thought was the middle of the night, even though it's like midday. And he looks up at the TV, TV's on, and it's a news report about the sun disappearing.
Yeah.
It's like it's supposed to be bright outside.
No, I get what you're saying. And that's the one thing that I like about the Twitter ARGs more than a lot of the stuff. It's just anything with photos, even the regular stories we read, anything with photos adds so much more to the story for me.
Yeah.
I'm like such an 8-brain person where I'm like, whoa. So honestly, and two, I just like from a production value, I just like whenever they have a little video.
Yeah.
Like in Gregory 88 when it was like the person standing outside in the woods
And
or whatever.
turns towards them real quick. Yeah.
Just a little something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
So after that, continues to tweet and says, the power keeps going out and I keep hearing noises outside. Sometimes far away, sometimes close. After that, there's another video. So I'm glad this is so funny to you.
He's looking through a screen window here. All right.
So here's like, it sounds like an engine or something outside, and there's like lights flickering in the distance, right?
Well, I thought, is that on an airplane? Looks like an airplane. It looked like an airplane going overhead, no?
I mean, that was like outside his window, though, like ground level.
Oh, that was ground level? I thought he was looking at the sky. Well, it's so dark, I can't tell.
Yeah, exactly.
The sun has vanished.
I mean, maybe the sun has vanished. You may be right that it was a plane, like he's looking up, but when I think screen window, I imagine.
You just think he's like looking straight ahead, and that's
and there's like
the
a
noise
blinking light out in the distance, yeah. I can't sleep. I think the noises outside are gunshots. Some of it, I'm pretty sure, is gunfire. The other noises, though, I'm not sure.
And that's the end of the first post on April.
Well, so those were a series of tweets.
Oh, so these are just, well, I mean, that's the end of the post on April.
String of posts.
Yeah.
April 30th.
On April 30th, that was the end of his string of tweets there, too.
Yes.
So with an ARG in this situation, too, because with Gregory 88, that's the only thing I have a basis off of.
Right.
But in Gregory 88, something that's like, oh, I'm out here and there's dinosaur eggs by this lake or whatever.
Yeah.
You could have still assumed that it's in our universe because he's just at some place that we don't know.
Just to play, it happened somewhere, yeah.
But here, are we supposed to, because it's either augmented or alternate reality, are we supposed to assume that these tweets, if you're playing along, this is like a guy in a different dimension than ours?
If you're playing along, this is a different universe.
Sure.
It's like a different, I mean, like, you know, this is a reality where he woke up one day and the sun vanished, right? So it's, yes, it's like a parallel universe, so to speak.
Do you think does that still work the same way that like Gregory 88 does, or no?
I mean, it's like with any horror story, right? Like if you write a horror story that's about there's a killer in the house, well, that could happen anywhere, right? Like a murder. But if you write a horror story about like the rapture or about, you know, World War or something, like sure, the setting can be our world, but we didn't go through.
Absolutely. I think it's just when I think of the Twitter ARG thing, it's almost the same thing as like r/no sleep, where it's supposed to be like, I am a user and this is the experience. Same with the Twitter ARG, where I'm like, oh, you're reading the tweets of somebody going through some shit.
Yeah.
I still think the idea is fun. I just didn't know if I was like, oh, is it as effective? Because the people immediately from this know that it's a horror story setup thing or whatever.
You are correct in that it doesn't work in tricking people. You are right. Because like Gregory 88, someone can come across that for the first time and it's like, oh man, this guy's running into some weird stuff. The best example of that is the one David Firth did with the Dear David thing.
Yeah.
Or Adam Firth, whatever his name is. He had a
Shout
series
out
called
David Firth, though. David Firth is a good man.
Salad
Fingers.
Yeah, Salad Fingers. That's right. That's where I got
the
name
boy,
from.
the goat.
Adam Ellis, that's the name. Yeah, my brain completely switched
Sorry.
those two. Adam Ellis is the guy who did a series called Dear David. Adam Ellis, he does like online web comics and stuff like that. And then one day he just started tweeting that something weird was happening in his apartment. And he was like, I think this place is haunted. And for a long time, everyone thought he was putting up cameras in the night. He was like
that's fun.
setting stuff to see where it would be and it would get moved around. And then it turned out it was part of a horror story he was writing called Dear David. But that one did a great job. Like when I first came across it, I'm like, to me, it was like, oh, this guy, that maybe there's an intruder in his house. Who knows? And then when it became a horror project, I'm like, that's pretty cool.
I believe, I mean, like for a younger audience too, I think that's like, those become the stories I think are more memorable. Well, it's the same thing as like whenever the Blair Witch Project came out. Everyone's like, oh, this is real. It looks real. So I like the idea of using tweets to tell a story. It's just, I wonder if, it still stands because this is people's like favorite Twitter
everyone
energy,
loves Sun Vanished.
so they like it. But yeah, I just didn't know if it was like, if you needed that factor or not.
Sun Vanished definitely doesn't have the real world draw because of like the scale of the project, but I think it does have a draw because it's such a unique concept.
And they still play into the found footage. Yeah. Like you're still vicariously seeing it through, like living this experience through this guy.
It's grounded. Yeah.
Yeah. So you at least have that. Versus I wonder if it was just a string of tweets with no videos, if it would have been
I don't think it would have done as well.
Yeah.
Because I remember everyone posting the video clips early, like when it began, like making a deal out of it. I remember that.
And his next string of tweets began the next day on May 1st.
Yes. So on May 1st, he says, "It's still dark. The news said it would be back to normal by now, but it isn't. Now the news isn't even coming in. This video, or this photo, is just like TV.
Basically
signal.
now it's just a static screen that says no signal.
Yeah.
Pretty much assuming that I think like radios, towers, and that
feeds are gone. Yeah.
The feed is gone.
So after that, he says, "Been trying to conserve battery life since the power keeps cutting out. I'm worried it will go off and never come back on. TV signal is gone. The noises keep happening outside, and I can barely keep track of the time anymore. I am honest to God terrified. I am so tempted to go outside. Should I?" I remember this when it was happening, because everyone was talking about it, and he would put polls up. So everyone would vote. And what was really fun about this is people would get into fights with each other in the replies. Like, because he would do a bunch of these polls. So he'd be like, should I check this out or whatever? And people would be like, stop voting yes, that's stupid. You shouldn't go over there, blah, blah, blah. So it's just a fun way to incorporate, audience into it. Because like you said, he's clearly killed the gimmick that this is really happening. Because it's a universe where the sun vanished.
You keep it alive by giving the choose your own adventure.
Yeah, it makes it a little choose your own adventure thing for people to watch. Which is why a bunch of people got really into it.
Let the people that are combating, like, should I go outside? Yes, no, and having like the arguments. That's where it becomes real, because now you're interacting with and person that's in your reality.
I remember people getting violent.
Oh, of course, of course, you have to.
Why are you all stupid? This is why this country's falling apart.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, Trump's America.
I do legitimately. I can't remember. We'll come across it, but there's one poll that I think was something about like, should I help this man or whatever, and I feel like my brain may be filling in this memory, but there's some replies like, it's all you bleeding heart liberals trying to help everyone. Like, dude, it's okay.
We'll be all right, my God.
Yeah, it's not that serious. So they make a poll that says, I'm so tempted to go outside, should I? And the majority of people vote yes. Just like the top reply is another poll from a separate user, which asks, is this person white?
Pretty is this person white? And then the top rated so then the options are yes, yeah, sure as hell is, and hell yeah. And sure as hell is the dominant answer at 59% of the vote.
That's funny.
And then the person that, why does this matter? I don't understand some people. Well, there's a lot of racists on the internet, sweetheart.
Well, I imagine the reason they set up that poll is because like the horror trope of like only a white person would go outside.
Oh, yeah. Black people die first in the horror movie.
Yeah, or like, no, the joke is that like, you always hear like, white people in a horror movie are like, oh, what's that noise? I'll go investigate. But any other person, like, I'm getting the keys and leaving.
Yeah.
Right? The joke is that white people are like oblivious to like walk into danger.
Right.
So when this person's like, should I go outside? The top reply is like, this is a white guy.
Yeah, 100%. He has plot armor.
Yeah, 100%.
And that was the last of the tweets for that day, and then it moved into May 2nd the next day. It looks like he's going to just be doing it daily for a while.
Yes, at first it was like super fast-paced, and then there's one point where it drops off for a while, and that's when I think I quit keeping up with it. So May 2nd, there's a video where the caption is, I went outside, I saw something out there I can't really explain, but I can show you. And then it leads to this video. We're back in Greylock territory.
This does feel like Greylock.
Walking through the woods.
I miss Greylock.
Greylock's so good, dude.
Yeah, it's 11 a.m. right now.
Yes.
Kind of strange that it's so dark, huh? Anyways. Creepy. So it could be a toddler playing with a toy out there, or there's some kind of clicker going on. What do you think it is? Is that a?
Can you not be dismissive for 12 seconds?
I mean, so it's getting into a point. Also, whenever you looked up, there was no stars. Don't know if that's relevant or not. Mm-hmm. But
and also, like that same flashing red light that he saw outside before is now in the treetops. Same thing from before. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead. You got something. Go
I don't have anything.
No, you
I'm just curious. For people who are listening in the audio, he's walking outside at probably 10 p.m. at night and shine a flashlight, and then in the woods, and he stops, turns off his flashlight, and there was like a clicking sound with a red strobing light. Is the best way I could describe it, right?
Mm-hmm. You don't have anything, any smart?
No, that's it.
Okay, all right.
Little clicking thing, and he ran away.
I think hold up, go back to that video real quick. I think on a lot of them you can see the time it was posted. You may not be able to on old ones.
11:40 p.m.
11:40 p.m. Okay, so that one was actually at night. Never mind.
Were you trying to get a?
I thought
it was at 11:40 a.m.
I thought it was going to be fun if it was like 2 p.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was at midnight. Yeah.
Which I would be so funny if he was walking. He posted 11:40 and he's like, yeah, it's high noon right now, out in the woods. And look at this. What the hell? It's like this.
It's a picture of the red light on the tree. Yeah. then that tweet was made by big Yoshi butt.
What the hell? Okay.
All right. So after that, going off of what Hunter pointed out, he says, I looked for stars or planets as you all suggested. The sky was absolutely pitch black. Could be because of clouds or something else. I thought I saw some figures close by, but it is so dark. I feel like my mind is playing tricks on me. I don't have much food stocked up, but after this experience with being outside for only a few minutes, I do not want to drive into town for supplies. Still shaken from the short time I was outside. I don't know what the flashing light was, but it was following me. Day 3, still no sign of daylight. It's getting colder. Okay, so this is now when like other accounts start to tie into it, I believe. An account called Another Angel responded to the previous tweet, the one saying day 3, and says, stay safe, brother. Does calling 911 or the National Guard help? Are you able to contact anyone else besides us on Twitter? To which the Sun Vanish responds, I've tried, all I get is a busy tone. This Twitter is the only way I know how to contact the outside world. So again, playing into the theme that like all communication lines are down, he can get tweets out for some reason. What are you smiling about?
Just keep reading, dude.
Okay. A person just ran by on my street. 2 of the same flashing lights I saw yesterday were following him. They were gone by the time I got my phone out to record. The Sun Vanish then went dark for an uncomfortable amount of time or hours after this, continuing the tweets on May 3rd, to which he says, sorry everyone, reception went out yesterday. I was worried it wouldn't come back on. No signs of activity outside. Come to think of it, it's been a while since I heard a gunshot. An account called Jacob responds to this previous tweet asking, can you see light anywhere? Like house lights or car headlights? To which the Sun Vanish responds, the only lights on are the walkway lights near my front porch. Maybe a few house lights down the road. Power is not out right now. I'm just keeping all my lights off as a safety precaution. To which then, Sun Vanish says, something just flew over my house and attaches this video.
So we're getting into like actual alien territory potentially.
Touch it between the engine sounds and the red flashing lights, and he says he saw people running down the street, but it was hard to make out who, and also to mention that he's heard gunshots around periodically. So it's kind of pointing towards like a War of the Worlds, sort of like there's a ubiquitous takeover. People are getting abducted or attacked by aliens.
I like the idea too of that if the sun vanished, if it's actually just like, which I don't know if this would make sense, so bear with me, but if it was like a giant spacecraft or something that was just like,
well, it can't see stars or anything else.
That's what I'm
either,
saying. I'm
right?
wondering if it's like a giant thing blocking it.
Everything went out at once.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I do like the creativeness here, I will say, with just some guy, I mean, maybe even with just like a line amp.
Yeah.
Plugging that in, maybe putting like reverb on it and like putting a mic up to it and just creating like weird like ship sounds. Just fun.
Yeah. It's a creative. I mean, it's like you said earlier, it's something. It's like adding like
just a little thing. Because if these were just tweets,
yeah,
it would just seem so stupid.
Yeah.
It's so dark right now.
Yeah. But because it's not just tweets, you certainly don't think that.
Yeah. I'm so bought in. Also, this episode is sponsored by Campbell's Chunky. They can last you for an entire apocalypse. Good.
Okay, thank you. I couldn't see it. Too dark outside, but a wave of heat just came over me. Feels like the temperature increased by like 10, 15 degrees. Just compared to the sound of this video to the sound of the helicopter footage I posted a few days ago, whatever this was, it was definitely not a helicopter. Then he has a tweet that says, "Oh, thank God, one of my friends is still alive. He just texted me," and he attaches a screenshot of a text he received from his friend, Daniel.
Dude, please tell me you're still alive.
Yes, I'm alive. Where the hell have you been? Why did it take you this long to reach out to me after I called you like 40 times?
I'm sorry, but my phone was died, and I was just now able to start charging it. You're still at your house, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm still a 2 days drive away, but I'm coming for you. It's kind of fun.
Go ahead.
I just like that. I'm like, all right, I'm still 2 days drive away, but I'm on my way. Where the fuck do you live, dude?
Yeah, why am I the first person you're coming to 48 hours away?
I'm like, why don't you fucking go somewhere closer?
That would
all right, it's going to take me 14 days to get to you, but I'm on my way right now.
that would actually be like if something happened and I texted you and I was like, I'm on my way. You're like, why? Like, why are you coming here? What tactical advantage does that have?
I saw your tweets. I want to be a part of it.
Yeah. Don't you have like a wife?
Also, if the radio, hold on a second too. To be fair, it's only like the television signals are down. How would he even send text?
He says everything keeps going in and out.
Yeah, but you would assume after days, right? Also, the last thing that we ever saw, there's no news reports anymore. It's just no signal.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, there's rolling outages, but it kind of just makes it seem like that the TV stations and stuff aren't able to broadcast anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which would almost make me think, would you even be able to use your phone?
So you're asking the right questions. Keep that in mind.
Thanks.
You're not crazy. just keep that tone, right?
Or thank you for talking to me like a toddler. You're big. Also, just want to say this too. Also, while we're in the heat of the moment, I'm going to say this because you got me riled up now. So the very first thing Isaiah says to me this morning, I was in my undies. I walk over and he says this. He says, "Yeah, I heard you taking a shower earlier. I popped my camera in and took a video." And I said, "That's funny. I just woke up. I haven't taken a shower." I said, "Allison took a shower this morning." So I'm like, what'd you do to my wife, dude?
Are you done? Yeah. Are you done with your bit?
No.
I was talking to Allison outside of the shower, and I heard the shower running. There was a ghost in the shower.
Yeah, it's the glass shower case. I was talking to her outside of the shower. Wipe the steam off the glass. I can't see everything.
I was not taking videos of your wife in the shower.
All right, we'll see.
For the record.
I'm checking his phone later, so we'll see.
Okay, all right. Whatever.
I'll make my own Twitter ARG about it. My best friend's nudes of my wife have vanished.
My wife vanished.
Yeah, just my wife vanished. Yeah.
My friend came over and I can't find my wife. What happened?
Yeah, life's been great.
Just a Twitter account called My Wife Vanished. Help.
Yeah,
That's the whole
exactly.
account.
It's time to talk about something scary. Your health. I know I don't go to the doctor as much as I should. I have a diabetic foot that's rotting off, but I ignore that every day of my life. If I'm bleeding or feeling sick, I'll just lie in bed and sleep it away. That's only because I don't want to deal with appointments and talking to insurance ladies, ugh. That's why I use ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors. Choose the right one for your needs, and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, eye care to skincare, and much, much more. And the nice thing about ZocDoc is that you can filter for doctors that take your insurance, are nearby, and are highly rated. It's super easy to use, and you can find an appointment time that works for you with the right doctor that fits your needs. Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. Oh, you don't want to admit it, but you should probably see a doctor. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Creepcast to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Creepcast. ZocDoc.com/Creepcast. Thank you, ZocDoc, for sponsoring this spooky episode. Uh-oh, let's get scared again.
After that text, he sends another screenshot of text.
Okay, so he still says, okay, good, I'm still 2 days drive away, but I'm coming for you.
I'm not really sure if that's a good idea or not.
Why?
What have you seen?
Lol, dude, you have no fucking idea.
That would be you in any kind of crisis.
Yeah, I like how it's like the world is ending. Lol, dude, you can't even imagine
Raffle.
the fucking ghouls that I've seen walking around the earth right now. Did you notice the sun's gone?
You cannot.
How is that not the first thing you say?
That.
Hey, have you noticed that it's like the sun has not been up for a week?
3 p.m. and it's still like midnight.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm 2 days drive away. I'm coming.
What you said was so funny when you were like, you cannot imagine the ghastly horrors I've seen.
The little ghoulies walking around.
Unfathomable creatures.
Yeah.
And now he sends another text that says, now we have another problem. He attaches a photo of what appears to be someone outside of his house. So what's interesting here is that the only lights that are on the street, it looks like the street lamps are burned out, but he has those solar lights on, the ones that have a self-contained battery. So those things are still running, but all of the like power grid stuff, like street lamps, are out around his house.
Also, I hate to be this guy, but does it not look like there's kind of some sun in this? On the horizon, is that not a little,
I wouldn't call that the sun.
I'm saying that like
there are lights over the horizon. That looks like city glow to me.
Okay.
But you know what? Sure. sure, Hunter.
Hey, I hate to be that guy, but I'm just
okay, well, can we focus on the man that is on the sidewalk?
I'm tired. I don't want to have to. I don't want to wait till 10 or 11 tonight. Can we just film this at 8:30?
Okay. There's a man on the sidewalk.
Yes, for people who don't know, there's a spooky man on the sidewalk, or like a woman. I can't tell what the hell it is, but there's somebody just standing there.
Yeah.
Maybe an alien.
Okay. So this guy's been standing completely still with his back toward me. I have no idea how long he's been standing there. Whoever was standing outside is gone now. This was tweeted a few hours after the previous one. And then a tweet that just says, shit, which this video attached.
Dude, all you have to do is just film a door and somebody knocking, and it really is. It's always creepy. Every time.
It's creepy. It works. And like online, people go hog wild.
I could see my fat ass being young, just being like, oh my God. Oh, no one knocks on my door.
Because like the way most people experience this was like scrolling in bed at night, right?
Yeah.
Because it's on Twitter, so you're just reading through it, and then you get to that video. It's like, makes you jump.
It's almost it's like being at a slumber party with your friends, and you like read a ghost story or something, and you're like, I think something just said my name.
Yeah, very similar vibes. Very, very similar vibes.
You ever have one of those? The very first time I ever saw Paranormal Activity, it was all night. Hold on, shh.
Guys.
Did you hear that? Oh my God.
What was that? What was that friend you had, Mr. Floppy, as you called him? The guy. Yeah, the guy. Was he there for that paranormal?
So floppy.
Yeah, it's so floppy. Was he there?
He probably was there. He's probably the one saying it.
He's probably the one saying your name.
Yeah,
He was saying your name while he was.
Yeah, he's probably just like, did someone say my name? And then you just hear his pud hitting his thighs. I always like calling a soft cock pud. Isn't that nice?
All right, May 4th. So that was the end of the tweets on May the 3rd, ended with that video. Then May 4th, he says, to those of you asking, I'm doing all right. Hiding in my room and waiting this out.
Sorry. I'm actually sorry. I just love the idea. It's just such a kid's perspective of the world ending. For those asking, I'm fine. I'm hiding out in my room. Oh, God. Sorry. It got me good. That actually... That got me. It was just a little thing. It's just the little things that get you, isn't it? It's like a paper cut. Okay.
You're crying.
I am. That got me good. It's like, cause and I hate to keep bringing back this, but I'm just picturing up there with like, he has like 10 empty Campbell's Chunky soup cans. I can't go inside my room. It's like a kid who's like, if a ghost comes in, I'll hide under the covers. That's gonna help. It's like if there's a fucking alien, I better camp out my room. He can't come up here. My mom won't allow it.
I haven't heard any more knocking, but I don't want to get anywhere near the front door to check. After this, he says, this is not going to help.
Oh, boy.
Said.
And don't worry, I have a way to defend myself if worst comes to worst. And it's a picture of like a fucking Civil War era baseball bat. Yeah, you probably don't want to be coming up near here. Hey, alien, I'm gonna bop you real good in the head if you don't come here. It's like fucking Tom and Jerry.
It's so perfect that right after you complained, he acts like a 10-year-old child. And he's like, don't worry, guys.
Hold on. Would it work if it is like, because this is obviously like kind of a kid's perspective or a teenager or whatever. Would it be fucking weird if it's like you own that shit and you're like, also my parents are gone and I'm home alone.
I think it would make it more believable.
The juvenile shit would be, you would be like, oh my God, and your parents are gone. Because then you can have the angle of like somebody knocking and being like, hey, let us in. It's like my mom. It sounds like my mom, but it's kind of off. Some uncanny shit. And then instead of showing a fucking baseball bat, he's like, I climbed in past my dad's nudie magazines. I found his fucking gun box. I'm going to try to figure out the code.
Yeah.
How sick would that be?
I think
he actually shoots himself in the thigh. Oh! I'm bleeding out, I think. Does Campbell's Chunky disinfect?
It's...
I keep pouring clam chowder over the wound, but it just gets more inflamed.
I haven't mentioned Campbell's Chunky once.
I'm too hooked in. I'm too. It feels too right.
He solves every problem with Campbell's Chunky sauce.
Man, audio listeners for this one, you're missing out.
It's just a picture of
You're missing out on these photos, man. Lord help me.
Oh, I was trying. It was so funny because I was like, okay, Hunter needs to take this serious. And I look at the next tweet. I'm like, well, that's going to do it. it's the baseball bat.
I'm memeing on it, but I will say the knocking and stuff. I think that it still has legs. We're still so early on. It's just getting the giggle bug. Yeah. I'm excited. My friend's here.
Is that your coat?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I'm so excited. Isaiah's in town. Yeah.
All right. So after that, he says, if anyone knows anything about what's going on, please message me. 911 and other emergency lines are not responding, and the only radio I have is out in the car. So I'm trying to gather as much information online as I can.
When he says that if they're not responding, does it mean that it's still probably getting a call tone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he says every time it picks up, it's like he can't get through to anyone. Yeah.
I see.
All right, another one. So that was the end of May 4th. May 5th, he says, I just got a text, another screenshot.
Hey, brother. I am from British Columbia. I don't know much, but I do know that you should never look into the red light. Ever. If you do, you become like the guy who was at your door. Okay. So that's also somebody just getting he's like basically getting an anonymous tip from the other side of the world, pretty much.
Because all this is he's putting in on Twitter, right? Yeah. So it's like people are supposedly DMing that Twitter account. Yeah. This is followed by another screenshot of a tweet he was tagged in where he says, to be completely honest, I have no idea how to explain this. And this is a tweet where someone says, I don't get it. It's sunny where I am. So now he's leaning into the fact that this is unique to just him, right? Or at least a few people. Now other people are like, it's sunny here. And he's like, what? How's that?
Oh, that's interesting. So he does bring it back into the
real world.
Yeah, so he's like, oh, weird. What the fuck?
Why is this localized?
Yeah.
So then another one, he simply says, not good. And it's a screenshot again from his friend.
Dayton,
yeah.
So I have good news and bad news.
Uh-oh.
Good news is I'm closer to you now. Bad news, I'm out of fuel. What? That's what he said. Bad news.
I can tell.
Bad news is
don't make that.
What?
Face. Don't make that. I can tell when you're.
Good news is I'm closer to you now.
It's when you do that thing with your eyebrows where they perk up.
Good news. I'm closer to you now. Bad news. I'm out of fuel.
Keep going.
There are no active gas stations anywhere close to me. All the power is down, and all the gas stations nearby are electric gas pumps.
Oh no. That's what I have to say.
Where does he come from? Also, when was the first time he got the text from him? So it's been at least 2 days.
It's been. Yes, because the first text was May 3rd, I think, right? Yeah.
It has to, because he should have been there by now.
Yes, he should have got there yesterday, or that day, May 6th. It's May 5th, so he should be there that day. So then after that, he says he isn't even that close. Sun Vanish says, how far away are you? And Dayton says...
Probably still 8 or 9 hours away. So yeah, he's still quite a bit of.
Yeah,
and if you're out of if you're out of gas too, you can't fucking 8 or 9 hour drive. What is that? How many miles is that? Hundreds and hundreds of miles.
That's like a several week walk.
Yeah,
has to be.
So it's like there's no way you're gonna fucking walk.
Yeah, he's not gonna walk, especially because who knows what's out there attacking people, and the sun's gone.
So what part of the country this is supposed to be in?
I don't know. I feel like I may be wrong about this, but I feel like he's not even in the U.S. I may be wrong about that.
I feel like you're probably wrong with that.
Okay.
I think he is.
I feel like there was something in my head, or maybe it was like the creator was from another country or something like that.
I mean, could be wrong.
I could also completely be like misremembering.
If it's in a European country, you would think that he'd be tweeting in his native language then. Which would actually be kind of cool too, and people are just like translating it.
Yeah, I don't think it is though. I'm probably. We'll assume I'm wrong unless it comes up somewhere. So after this, he says, "I'm really conflicted. Some of you say I should go. Some of you say I should stay. What should I do?" So he has another Twitter poll where the options are stay safe at home or drive 9 hours to Dayton, to which the majority winning is stay safe at home, but not by much. Only
54% versus 45. So this is actually a close one.
It is a close one, but it's also like, yeah, like you said, your friend's up a paddle. He's up a creek without a paddle, right? But he has a car with gas, so he could hypothetically go get him, but that could be dangerous. Would you come get me?
Hell no.
Okay.
It'd be the same thing too. If you were like, here, I'm going to come get you. I'll be like, are you actually dense? I would say, fucking stay there. I'll figure it out. Okay, or I'm just dead.
Let's do it different, because it would be stupid for me to come to you in an event or vice versa, right? But what if I was already on the way? I'm like, hey, let's hang out. So I'm already on the way, and then the sun vanish thing happens. Now I'm stuck. Would you come get me then?
Is that new into the thing? Like the sun just vanished? It's that recent?
Yeah, but there's a reasonable amount of time of me being like, oh, I can't get gas. It's been a day. It's been a day.
I'd get you then.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm saying if we're 2 weeks without the sun, I'd be like, buddy, good luck.
Yeah. It's like, at that point I should know better. But I'm saying,
like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying like I was on a drive here.
Yeah, I would be like, I'll come get you. But I would still be pissed about it.
You know who else would be pissed about it?
Who?
Me, who is driving to your house and then sun
I'm not the one who fucking made the sun go away, dude.
Neither did I. What were you mean?
So I'd be like, well, why are you giving me this fucking attitude? I'd be texting that. I'd be like, are you kidding me? I'm like, don't even fucking come, actually. Turn around.
My attitude would be fear. I'm out of gas and the sun's gone. What are you talking about?
Can you pick me up?
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, God, dude. Oh, God. Uber? Question mark?
You know what? I would. Do
you think do you think Uber's still active right now? Are you Tom?
I would.
Lean up. You going up the road? Yeah, kind of crazy with the sun going out, huh?
I would be like, yeah, meet me here, and I would lead you to a big hole. There'd be a big hole somewhere, and make you go walk and fall into it. That's what I do.
And it'd be funny because I'm fat guy falling. Whoa! Like a trumpet playing in the back on the outside. I'm tumbling down. I can't get up. I'm like a turtle. Roll me over on my stomach.
That's what I hope happens. That's what would happen. Okay. The next day on May 6th, someone is screaming outside, and he attaches this video.
What?
You just stared at me.
I'm just getting a visual on how you were.
Okay, all right.
You looked kind of scared.
You looked so quick. You were like, straight back at. Anyway, so he attaches that video. Now he can hear people screaming outside. Then says, I'm really, really not sure about leaving now. He attaches another text from his friend. This time beginning with him saying, how are you avoiding detection? Dayton says,
I'm just staying in the car. It's locked and off at the moment. After I catch a few winks, I'm going to try to take a look around.
All right, stay safe.
Always, bud. You too.
After this, he says, it's been really, really quiet today. I noticed it warmed up after that thing flew over my house again last night.
Do you think it's trying to say that like the engines of it, whatever? Are,
I think that's the implication.
Yeah, just like
some kind of or some energy coming off of it.
Some field that's propelling it, whatever.
Yeah. So after that, May 7th, he says, I'm really surprised the power stayed on for this long. Only a few outages here and there, but I'm still extremely paranoid that it will go out permanently anytime now. And again, he has a screenshot of his friend's text, beginning with Dayton saying,
don't worry about me, dude. I'll find a way to get to you eventually. I rocked around for a couple hours. I haven't seen anyone human or otherwise on the highway. So I'm pretty sure I'll be safe here and I'll figure out what to do.
Do you have enough food and supplies?
Yeah, I have enough even if I'm stranded here for a while. Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself.
So then after this, he says, you all have been bringing up the solar lights outside. They actually aren't solar. I have them on a timer outside, and I can't turn them off without leaving the house. I feel exhausted all the time now. I think my internal clock is completely screwed up. On the next day, May 8th, he says, I can see a faint light outside my bedroom window. Going downstairs to check it out, and he attaches this video.
This is the faint light? Hey, I think there's a light shining in my house. For people that are audio listening, it's a giant Spear Halloween strobe light, like cascading tons and tons of light to the house. Let me restart it. Sorry, I'm talking over a lot. I don't want to miss it. This is important shit.
Oh, you don't want to miss it.
Steve, what'd I tell you? Do your filming at another time, all right? It's a Tuesday. Your dad has to get up early for work tomorrow. Also, at the beginning, does it? I can you hear him breathing, but do you also hear the like? I thought I heard like a screeching sound or something, like some kind of like.
Well, there's that that clicking noise.
Well, there's the clicking sound, but I could have swore I heard like an actual like screeching thing.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Interesting.
I got a little I didn't know if it was supposed to be like a creature sound.
Well, it certainly could be, especially because he heard a person screaming outside yesterday, right? And now this is right outside of his house, and it's blinking white, and then when it turns red, it's like more aggressive, so to speak. And it's the same kind of sound he heard outside of his house and in the trees when he was walking around outside.
I'm surprised he had the gall to get out of his room.
I want to get it. Did you hear that thing? That dude saw like the strobe lights downstairs. He's like, I better go check it out.
It's just a faint light.
Better go see. Yeah, just a faint light.
It's just a little bit of light
shining directly into his living room.
I think someone's trying to give me like a message.
I don't know what this means.
I think it's candlelight.
He then follows this up by saying, I cannot believe I'm still alive, with another screenshot, which also I think the name is Danyon.
Or Danyon, not Dayton.
Danyon, Dayton, whatever. Danyon, Crayon says.
You didn't look directly into the red light, right?
Yes.
You were absolutely sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Which street did both of us live on when we were kids?
Why?
Answer the question.
Fraser Road.
Okay, we're good.
Damn it, don't scare me like that. So then after that, there's another screenshot. The same conversation continued where Crayon, Danyon, found... Is that it? Danyon? Yes, Danyon found this while he was walking and says...
I was looking around and just found this. No earthly idea what it means.
And then the writing he found says, beware of headlights. So, for one, I feel like if he just said, you didn't look at the light, did you? He would know that relates to it somehow. But sure, whatever. He found writing that says, beware of headlights. Then the Sunvanish has another tweet that says, sometimes I feel like I have a good handle on this whole situation and I'm thinking rationally and logically, but other times I feel like bawling. Next day, May 9th, he says, Day 9, sorry about that tweet last night. What happened at the window got to me a bit. Anyway, I'm currently in touch with a couple of people with some experience and some info on what's going on. So there's a long text chain with a new character on Twitter named Tucker who will become very important later. So this is part of that text chain.
So to give you some background, my name is Tucker. I live in Virginia. I was working a night shift when all of this shenanigans went down. Just about to clock out for the day when I realized the sun wasn't up like normally was when I clocked out. I kind of shrugged it off at first, but after a few hours, I was getting really worried. I lived close to a relatively large city, so you can imagine what I had to go through when riots started. Long story short, when I was heading out of town to get away from the mess, I met this guy named Flynn, who was talking about these things that hunt people down. At this point, I didn't believe him, but I started to notice that the crowds and traffic congestion on the highway started slowly dissipating. Before you know it, the roads were completely empty. Terrifying shit. Flynn and I started traveling together after that. We had been finding dark places to hide, enough food and water to stay alive, and we were doing pretty good for the first week. But then just a few days ago, he came back inside after taking a leak and started losing it. Kept going on and on, just talking nonsense. It went on for days, and I was worried that all this stress from the situation got to him. But one day, it all stopped and he wouldn't speak. Wouldn't even acknowledge me. Just stood like a statue for probably a full 12 hours. Then he attacked me out of nowhere. I tried to keep him away, but he just wouldn't stop. I had to stop him. There wasn't anything else I could do. Anyway, I've been living on my own for the past couple of days. It's been tough, but thankfully I found an area with power and internet, which is why I can talk to you.
Thank you for sharing your story. I'm sorry to hear about Flynn.
Pretty big emotional swing there, buddy. Thanks. Please share my story. I want people to know what happened.
Of course. So this is one of the things I found interesting about the Sunvanish, right? Because you were right earlier about the whole choose your own adventure route, because every time people vote something, he does it. But then we get these accounts from like people that are out. So I wonder if people voted like, oh, you should go get your friend, if things like that would have happened to our main character. He would have came across the writing that says, beware of headlights. He would have maybe got a message from someone who was in their house and saw the flashing lights. But because people voted for him to stay home, it's like they switch perspective.
I also wonder too, with the same kind of, I was thinking the same thing where I wonder if he introduces this character named Tucker where he's like, I know I'm going to use this character. But if he would have gone out, maybe his car would have broken down and he would have met a guy named Tucker.
Yeah, would have ran into Tucker rather than like getting DM'd from him on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So it like a lot of the stuff in the story is like hiding in the room, stuff like that. Very conventional horror tropes, very basic. But I do like little instances like that where it's like, oh, there was some thought put into how information is going to get figured out based on what Twitter audiences want to see, kind of thing. So after that, he says, while I've been trying to collect info online, I completely forgot to check in on Danyon yesterday. He still hasn't responded to any of my texts. So then after that, he says, I swear to God, it sounds like someone is banging on my door, but there's no way in hell I'm going downstairs to check. So similar to what we were making fun of him for earlier, where he's like, oh, I think I heard something outside, and he goes downstairs. He's now like, yeah, that's not happening again. So now he's just completely staying in his room, but you can hear something that's like hitting outside, and it's not the knocking from before. It sounds like something slamming their head onto it. As funny as the mention was in Tucker's text, where he's like, I stood next to this guy for 12 hours. Just like,
that is kind of a funny
like,
thing.
buddy, what
if Tucker just being like, yeah, he stood there for 12 hours, and Tucker's just kind of sitting there just like, also, there's nothing to do.
No.
So they're sitting in complete
and it's
silence.
pitch black.
So it's pitch black. They're sitting there, and he's just like, you know, it's been 12 hours, just getting a little weird, Flynn.
And then he kills him.
Yeah, and he's like, well, and then I had to beat the hell out of him today. Which also kind of makes Tucker in a weird light, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, he's just standing there being weird, so I killed him.
Well, it says he attacked.
Well, yes, I know.
At the very least.
Yeah.
But he wasn't just like, I'm sorry, old boy.
You're being put down, girl.
But it's like people look into the red lights, and then they become catatonic, and then they're just become violent or whatever. So is this like an alien that's at his door? Is it one of these people that have been converted? Like,
I don't know. I mean, whenever you have alien movies and they're unable to like get into a house, I'm always like, that doesn't seem like an alien higher life form that's able to travel through stars.
What's the scariest alien movie to you?
It's honestly still, I'd probably say Signs.
Really?
Just, I don't know why, but also it was like one of the first ones I watched, but I think it's just more so the home invasion style of it. There was that new Hulu one where it's like a girl, it's like, there's like no dialogue in the whole movie or something. And it's like a weird, I don't know. It was a newer movie. There were some good moments in that, but Signs is always just a classic to me.
The what's that one, Fourth Kind?
Yeah.
Is it called Invasion? It's not Invasion.
No, you're talking about just the Fourth Kind?
Yeah, the Fourth Kind, yeah.
With Mia, whatever, the girl from Resident Evil.
Yeah. That was pretty freaky. And then
that one fucked me up when I was younger. I was sitting there and I was like, sorry to cut you off, but that one fucked me up because at the end of that movie, it's like there's that part where she's like, it's like floating and it's like, there is no God, whatever. And I remember going to my mom being like, oh, they said there's still a God. Whatever. And she's like, what the fuck are you on? I was like, I'm so afraid. I only wanted to watch it just because I got kind of hard watching, you know, the Mia chick from the Resident Evil movies and Fifth Element, you know, so that's why I wanted to watch it. And I was like, I had an existential crisis when I was just trying to have fun.
You scared me. There was also, what was it? When I was a kid, War of the Worlds, the Tom Cruise one.
That's a great one.
Freaked me out pretty good. That scene where they have like the eye down in the basement looking around.
Well, even that was like the creepiest part of that movie isn't even the fucking aliens. It's like the guy who's in the house who's like, oh yeah, also you're going to stay here forever now. And
he's going crazy and he's trying to dig and he's making noise and Tom Cruise beats him to death.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. That scene, I rewatched it. That scene's so menacing where he shuts the door. That cut, like right before he kills him, that's so wild. That was actually a really good movie.
Movie rules. Also, when Tom Cruise is running and everyone's getting like eviscerated into dust, and he comes back and they're like, "What happened?" He has like dead human ash all over him.
Yeah, and he's just like or like right after that scene when Dakota Fanning runs away and he opens the door and it's like the Alice in Wonderland shot, but it's blood and veins everywhere.
So sick.
That was a really cool movie.
No, the movie rules, yeah.
Do you remember, okay, we're completely off. Do you remember when everyone's fighting to get on that ferry? And it's like, please take my kids and stuff like that.
Very like Titanic meme.
And then immediately they get to the other side and there's more of them and they just like wipe everyone.
Yeah, they just get eviscerated basically.
That was so cool.
It's a good movie.
All right, anyways, that is a good movie, yeah. I hated it for a long time because the Dakota Fanning screaming bothered me, but that was such a minor point. It's
children screaming in horror movies. The most egregious is the Babadook. That movie's like almost hard to fucking get through.
But it's got that scene where she's like, but she has that scene where she's like, why can't you be normal?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely going over the top for a purpose, whatever. Yeah. I mean, I feel so bad for the mom. Honestly, when she gets like transformed and she's trying to kill him, I'm like, you get him, dude.
Get him, girl.
Fucking get him.
You deserve this.
When he's in the backseat of that car and he does that scream, I remember like being in the theater being like, oh God, I just don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I can take this for a whole movie.
Anyway, son vanished. Yeah. So he's hearing someone hit his door outside. That's the last thing he says on May 9th. The next day, May 10th, he says, "It got in. I don't know how, but it got in and I am hiding." And he posts this video. I like that. I like the kind of interpretation of this like extra earthly being as like a light. Like, I mean, sure, it's like a machine they're controlling or something like that.
Well, I mean, the parallel of it's nice is the sun vanished and now the only light source is the thing that's like trying to kill you.
Yeah, it's like an anglerfish.
Yeah.
Darks everything out, come to the light kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a... that parallel is really nice.
Yeah.
It's very creative.
And the idea of like, oh, it's in the house, and then like you creak open the door and you can see the strobing light.
And also too, like you're getting sucked in more to just the sound. Just the little like it almost seems like a fan with like a piece of like it's hitting plastic or something, like just like a something weird like that.
It almost sounds like a animals that have like sonar. They move by infrasound, or like they do that.
Oh, like almost like a Geiger counter sound.
Yeah. Like they're sensing the surrounding. They're looking for prey or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. It's just an interesting visual to be. Oh, the light's the thing I'm afraid of. After he says, "I'm sorry if I'm gone for a while. I have to stay hidden and keep my phone off. It produces light. I am so sorry." And that's the last thing he says. May 10th. He continues May 11th and says, "It's finally gone. I think I'm safe now. I didn't stick around to get a good look, but they are big and they can move fast as hell when they want to. I have no idea how, but the front door is unlocked and wide open. The alarm never came on either. I guess it got reset during one of the blackouts. Some good news for once. Danion's back. Before you all ask, he seems to be in his right mind. I need to get serious about securing my house." He then attaches a photo and says, "It's primitive, I know, but it's a first step and apparently more reliable than my alarm system. Let me know if you all have any other ideas to keep my house secure." And he said, "Go ahead. Make your point."
You go ahead.
No, you describe what's
Nick, what do you think about this defense mechanism for his new alarm for his house?
It may or may not be a pyramid of red Solo cups.
My boy definitely just did cup stacking at his school.
Don't worry. If the giant clicking light comes in my room, I'll hear the cups fall.
Yeah, the red Solo cups will fall, alerting me and giving me the perfect vantage.
Go to the replies real quick. What's it? Lines on the floor to supplement. Then, okay, so that one's being serious. Scroll down and just see the first guy. "You out here playing Home Alone?" There we go. Boy, you'd never hear that over the screaming.
You need to watch Home Alone when all this is over, man. Come on.
This isn't technically an alarm. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's what's fun about this being on Twitter. You can always see people being like, "This is the dumbest. What are you doing?"
Well, I mean, it's... Oh, and he has another way of security as well. And there's another
He says,
photo.
"I have another way of security." Attaches this photo. He's got 10 cans.
I mean... He's like, I put another one on the other side of the door in case I want to talk to it.
It's funny, like, because the point of like a audio alarm is so you have time to do something, right? Get a weapon, escape out a window, but he can't do anything.
No.
So this just tells him he's about to die. That's all an alarm system would do. It's like, you're about to be decimated.
He just wakes up from red Solo cups falling. He just
gulp.
Yeah. Also, too, it's weird. The story keeps sucking me in, being like, "Oh, that's kind of a fun concept," and then it does like this weird Home Alone shit where I'm like, just cut that out.
He can't help himself.
Honestly, too, it would have been cool. I'll save it for the end, but
he then says, "It's getting colder again. I'm running low on food and water. I feel like I could sleep for a week." And then he says, "I hope so," and shows more text with Danion.
"I found a car with a decent amount of gas in the tank. All I need is a siphon. Don't worry, bud. I'll be there soon."
Danion's determined. It's also funny to imagine that he's been walking for 3 days, Danion, and he's like, "Oh, I'll bring this gas back to my car."
I just need to suck it out.
I'll
drink a little bit of
in my
gas,
mouth.
get a little bit of gas in my system, pass out, and then wake up and bring it back to my car.
All right, so then May 12th, the next day, says, I have a confession to make. I've been keeping something from you all. Over the... Did Harry gasp? So he says, over the course of the last week, I've been increasingly paranoid about someone or something coming into my house while I'm sleeping. And I don't think it's one of those lights. It feels different. I can't explain it, but I can sense it. Last night, after I put cans on door handles, I've been waking up to clanging sounds. But I'm not certain if it's real or just my imagination. So now it's time to put my paranoia to the test.
Oh yeah, I see. He's pulling a nice little paranormal activity here.
Yeah, is that powder or salt?
I'm guessing it's flour.
Flour.
Or something.
Putting
baby
flour
powder
across
or whatever.
the floor to see if anything disturbs if he thinks walking around in the house. Yeah. Also, he says that it's colder now, so that implies if there was a ship or something like that overhead, it's like gone now.
That's what I'm assuming. Yeah. Every time it gets colder again, that's like...
The blinking light, the light things are gone.
Yeah.
But there could be something else.
Anytime it starts warming up, you're like, oh, the things are probably close.
Yeah. He says, you're right, it's flour, because he says if the flour is disturbed, we will know. So that's the end of May 12th. May 13th, he says, a person from British Columbia who messaged me earlier just sent me this. It's a screenshot of what appears to be him in a house, and there's like a silhouette over
like a dark silhouette.
Yeah.
He's could not have taken a clear photo here. He's like behind some kind of ridge or something, but it's clearly just a dark, like somebody in like a black morph suit. That's how I would describe it, like a black morph suit, shadowy figure.
Yeah. Standing over off the side of the room. So that's what's happening with that guy. Doesn't say anything else May 13th, but May 14th, he says, I had a nightmare about that picture. Just woke up to more screaming outside. Screaming isn't like last time. Very sporadic. Can't tell where it's coming from. Floor's untouched. Keep trying to record the screaming when I hear it, but the microphone isn't picking it up. I think the screaming is coming from the neighbor's house. That's the end of May 14th. See, what's also interesting about this is everyone's too afraid to go outside, so everyone on the street could be dead. Or everyone's just like you and hiding in their house.
If you were in the situation, would you check to see, because you probably know your neighbor, at least. Would you at least try to go over and be like, hey, what the fuck is going on? Or would you just stay put?
If I had like a gun, probably.
Even like, let's say you have a baseball bat, or even earlier before you're like, well, that's why is it waking up?
Oh, this is weird.
You haven't walked over, and there's like some weird stuff, but it seems like
as soon as the news report, I think yes.
Yeah,
but the issue is he's also heard screaming outside, seen running, and someone was standing facing away.
I mean, if there is by this point, if they're screaming outside, and
don't go outside.
If there's even like when you start hearing the screaming outside, that would be a deterrent enough for me to not fucking go out there, because you would also assume like, oh my god, that's my neighbor, or something along those lines, right? So you wouldn't want to. I mean, I'm just saying, early on, I'm surprised that there wasn't more of an effort to be like, I should probably go see if anybody else is having this issue, or is it just me, or you know, or in terms of like my TV's going out, or do they have power? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think early on, yes, but at this point, no. But it sounds like wherever the screaming was coming from the neighbor's house.
Right.
Next day, May 15th, he says, this has been on my mind lately, and it's a screenshot of a text from Daniel. Sunvanish says, just curious, what year did we graduate high school?
Lol, what?
And then Sunvanish says, never mind.
Kind of a suspicious response to his question. Lol, what?
Because earlier, Daniel was the one asking questions.
And he was serious about it, too.
He should know. They should be doing checkups periodically.
In this situation, yeah.
Yes.
There should be a constant. Also, him being like, oh, I found a tank of gas, I'm coming. It's like, that's just kind of convenient. And you kind of brought the idea, it's like, we've been walking.
Yeah, it's
whatever.
like, you've been walking 3 days, but, I found gas.
What I'm wondering, though, does he like, hey, can you shoot me your address again? And that's that's going to be suspicious.
Yeah.
Even though an alien, he's on Oliver Street. Will they know how to read our deal?
I don't know, because I don't know the logistics yet of like, because people look into the red light, and then they become like violent. They become something else. So
I guess they could siphon his mind or memory or something.
Yeah, like does that connect you to a hive mind where you would know that? Does that make you like a drone where you don't know that?
Does it just also make you
because it's implying that
violent?
You don't have your previous memories, right? Because
that's true.
So you wouldn't remember like where his home address was and stuff like that. So some memories are gone at least. So then he says, I know you all don't trust Daniel. I've been reading your tweets and messages, but I just can't bring myself to confront him. He's my friend. I don't have an abundance of those right now. The person who sent me the picture a few nights ago hasn't responded. Flower test hasn't worked yet. The reoccurring screaming outside. I'm about ready to snap. He then says, what? I thought he already knew my address.
I knew it was coming.
Unless, and then it's a text from Daniel where he says,
I'm a couple hours away now. What's your address again? Yeah, see, that's suspicious as fuck.
Yes, yeah. Especially after, because earlier Daniel was like, hey, what? I forget what question he asked. He was like, where did we go? What county? Whatever the question
wasn't it what street did we live on?
Yes, well, it was what street did we live on.
So he knows what.
Or at least what street they grew up on, whatever.
Yeah.
And now, so like he understands asking questions, and as soon as the sun vanishes, like, what year did we graduate? He's like, oh, that's stupid. Why would you ask me that? That's weird. So then the sun vanish says, I can't believe I'm doing this. Should I trust Daniel? To which he sets up a poll, and 75% say no.
25% say yes, and what I love is the top comment here says, dude, give his address to him. If he knows, you'll know it's him.
Whoa. Big brain.
Yeah, I love that. You know that motherfucker sent out that tweet and he was like this. Sorry, sun vanished, but I think I just kind of toppled this tower over.
It'll be so funny if you get to one of these replies and you're like, look at this idiot, and it's just me. On Twitter.
Yeah.
On Twitter 8 years ago.
Who else is afraid?
Yeah, I'm too scared right now. Who else is actively peeing their pants right now? So the next day, he sends another screenshot, this one from Daniel, where he says,
dude, where are you? I've been waiting.
And then another screenshot, this time Sun Vanish says, I'm not even sure anymore. Screenshot's a conversation between the two that goes as such. Answer my question. What year did we graduate high school?
Bud, we don't have time for this.
Answer my question. Answer the question.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
I'm sorry to say this, but I'm not sure I trust you.
Likewise.
Well, I guess that's that then.
The way that reads to...
Cool.
The way that reads
that's
to...
an epic... Well... I guess that's pretty much the end of this then.
The way that reads to me is like, it's like an entity that's trying to coax him when he says no. It's like, okay, and kind of like turns away. Did you see Sinners?
No.
Okay. You have to, I'm trying to reference it to something else. Just an entity that's trying to coax him away. Go ahead, make your bet. Whatever.
Okay. I guess this is where we part ways.
Okay, all right. You get it.
Also, too, you can't answer the question. We don't have time for this. You texting back this is taking longer.
Daniel's clearly been.
Yes, he's clearly fucked. Yeah. But what the humor in that for me is that the alien is like, he does a fucking Jim Halper. Well, I guess this is where we bid adieu. It's like, where the fuck did you pick that up from, alien? Glib glorb glob glib. Glibby glorb. Welp, glorb my glib.
Glorb, you're gonna want to glib this. May 17th. He says, since you all won't stop teaming me about updates, here's updates for you. There's some sass to that.
There is, yeah. Well, if you guys won't fucking leave me alone.
I haven't slept since the screaming. Ran out of bottled water days ago. Been drinking from the faucet. Very close to running out of food, too. And I hope losing my only close friend will be worth it. Happy?
God, what a sassy little bitch.
Some sass off of that, man. I just woke up and came downstairs to this. Oh, my God. And it's pictures of the flower on the floor has been kicked around.
Look at this.
Guess I'll die.
Guess I'll die.
Thank you, top reply. Very helpful.
But basically, the flower is just disrupted. So something has been in the house.
That looks like a footprint.
This looks like an actual footprint to where I'm thinking that
it's probably a human that's been
what's his name again? Dayton? Danian. Which I think I bet you it's fucking Danian lurking around.
Yeah. Probably. Because he was on his way there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He says, I don't know if it's Danian. I don't know if it's someone else, but I don't plan on sticking around to find out. It's not safe here anymore. Packing up and I'm leaving. It's been in the back of my mind for a while, but I'm heading out to the neighbor's house where I've been hearing the screaming. Wish me luck. I'm staying low and staying away from streetlights and other light sources, using my flashlight sparingly. Okay, so once you hear the screaming, do not go to your neighbor's house.
Well, it was like too little too late by this point.
Yeah, like what are you going to do? Oh, I've got my cans.
I guess to be fair, when you look at so he posted a picture and it says, this is where I heard the screaming from. I'm sure of it, which is like, it looks like the front of his neighbor's house. in their front yard. But even in their this looks like a lights on here, right? Or no?
I bet you're right.
To where at least that's at least a little sign of life.
I've thought about this, but that would actually be. Imagine a scenario where the power's out, which he says the power's sporadic, so it's not explicitly supernatural. But imagine a scenario where there's like a total blackout and you hear screaming, and then that house has all the lights on inside. That's kind of freaky.
Well, it'd be cool to have a video of him looking over and he's like, oh shit, I just looked at my neighbor's house, and like up in the bedroom, there's just a strobing.
That'd be pretty cool, yeah. That'd be sick.
Where it's going hopping from house to house or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It like goes white to red. You can see it moving through, yeah. He then says,
here we go. He's exploring the neighbor's house now. God damn, dude. Fucking Sun Vanish might be an alien. Those long ass fingers. Good lord.
Hello?
was that Nick?
Hello?
Heard you guys screaming. Have you seen the light people?
Has the sun been walking around your backyard lately? Hello?
Hello?
It's Glorb behind me, isn't it? He says, I found fresh food and water here, checked every room to be sure I'm alone. It's not just in my head. I know I heard screaming. It was ongoing, and I'm glad I came to investigate because now I have food, water, and a safer place to stay. There have been no signs of activity outside whatsoever.
So he's going to stay at the neighbor's house now?
Yeah, because, well, they know they can get into his, right? And he doesn't see it. Well, he knows there is something there because earlier mentions I feel a presence, and now he's seeing the flour kicked around. So something can and has been to his house. This house has food and water, and I wouldn't take the time to try to carry it back. Right?
Do they, literally just the videos of him being in an empty suburban house, very effective.
Yeah.
So effective.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, just a picture from the outside. Also, think about that. Think about being like, you're in your home, and then some event happens, and now you're staying in the neighbor's house, but it's dark. You have to go check all the rooms. You've got to clear it out. Like,
well, also staying in someone else's home already, that would be so on edge.
Yeah.
What if someone just comes back? You know, like, how are you going to explain? I don't know. It's
weird. It's creepy. Yeah. So the next one's for May the 19th. This is from our lovely Nate. From his notes, he says, here a new character named Tucker, or TH Mad Joy on Twitter, who has been mentioned once before and has responded to the Sun Vanish tweets a couple of times, begins posting on his own. So he begins posting on his own here, and whoever's tweeting will be denoted. So there's another Twitter account called Tucker that starts his own series during this time. So we're going to bounce back between Sun Vanish and Tucker. So on May 19th, Tucker says, I don't know what's happening exactly, but something's changed. There's a lot more activity outside than I have ever seen before. And if I remember right, Tucker was in Virginia, correct? Yes.
With Flynn. Do we assume that this is just the Sun Vanish creating multiple accounts, or is this multiple people? Okay, so you think it is just him?
Yes, because later, if I remember right, Tucker wraps in, like they wrap into each other, the two accounts. But it's from the perspective as if it's multiple people. This is
that's fine. I just didn't know if it was like, oh, this person was inspired, started doing it as well.
No, it's part of the Sun Vanish.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost positive, yeah. Because Tucker's info is feeding into the Sun Vanish, like his screenshots and stuff like that up until this point. So this has also still only been going, at this point, it's only been going on 2 weeks. Sun Vanish stuff has on Twitter. So after Tucker says that, the next day, May 20th, the Sun Vanish says, I've been taking a break from the internet for a bit, trying to recuperate myself. My mind is much clearer now than it was before. I don't know what the catalyst was, but something changed when I left my home. So like whatever presence he was dealing with over there, he doesn't have to anymore. The next day, Tucker says, it's been getting worse. I don't have any windows for obvious reasons, but I can hear it all. I can see a blue light from the crack under my door.
New introduction to a new color. The only thing we've seen so far is white and red.
White and red. White seems to be like a searching. Red seems to be like a hostile thing, right? Or like the thing that turns people. So we don't know what blue is. But that line from Tucker is also interesting. I don't have any windows for obvious reasons. I assume he means so he can't see the lights.
Well, I think by this point, everybody knows that if you look into the light, you go, it like is able to get you.
So you got to board up. It's like very what was that movie, Bird Box? Where like they would like cover up all the windows, so because if they looked at it, they would immediately like try to kill themselves. Similar thing, like don't look outside. Yeah. May 22nd, the Sun Vanished says, "What's going on?" and then @ Tucker says, "Please message me." So Tucker does not post for a while after this. So next few days will only be the Sun Vanished. So it can be assumed that when Tucker tweets something, the Sun Vanished is seeing it. They're being like, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
what's the
they're
blue
kind
light?
of. This is like they're really going to start interacting.
They're interacting
with
with each other. Yeah. So then May 23rd, the Sun Vanished says, "I think I discovered something interesting. I need to do an experiment to make sure. Details soon." So the next day, May 24th, he says, "The glass of water is from a neighbor's house I've been staying at. The bottle is from my house about a week ago." It says, "Is it just me or is the water from my house darker?"
Look like the old boy put some Meode in that.
Is that, hold on, the bottle's from his house.
Yeah, the glass is clear, but in the bottom of his water bottle, it looks
It's
like
a
there's
dark fluid or something.
It almost
like
looks like purple.
Yeah.
Or something. Like a dark, like an extremely dark purple.
So something that was in his house, right, is like tainted, the water supply, but the new house is fine. So that's another interesting point. At his house, he felt like a presence, something weird, but now that he's here, he feels better all of a sudden.
Well, now I'm wondering too if something lurks around or if the light shines on stuff, is it deteriorating or is it like toxifying shit?
Or maybe they're targeting him, like specifically
Could be
somehow.
through his water source or something. Yeah.
So after this, he says, "I feel terrible for what I did and said to Danyon," which you should not, because Danyon is 100% a meat puppet at this point.
Yes, sir.
He is gone. On May 26th, he says, "It's too quiet. I don't like this. I was walking past the coffee table and I noticed this sticking out from under a couple magazines."
Remember, don't look into the light. Don't move. They see motion. Don't produce light. They will see. The strobe? Question marks?
That looks very Slender Man, doesn't it?
It does. That's immediately what I thought. I was like, is this actually going into a fucking Slender Man?
Wouldn't that be crazy?
I'd be like, I would say we have got to fucking stop reading stories that just all go back to Slender Man. Anyone else see that tall white guy with a suit?
Another Tiggy Toby reference.
I guess this is Slender Man.
Makes me wonder if there's anything else around the house. Notes, papers, anything. I'm going to check and poke around. Found nothing yet. Still no response from Danyon or Tucker. I feel isolated.
So also, are we to assume that the last people that lived there wrote that note?
Yes. Yeah. But things didn't work out well for them if the screaming's anything to go off of.
Well, also, too, would you not think like, okay, well, I'm going to stay here, but I guess you would think that, okay, they're not going to show back up because they probably think that everyone here is already gone.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, we don't need to go there. We've already snuffed out that place.
Right, yeah.
Right.
May 27th, he says, "Guys, Danyon is still alive. He just texted me." And Danyon says,
"Listen, I know you don't trust me and I don't trust you. If you are still you, you have to get low. Get out of sight, whatever it takes." Fuck you, Danyon.
So you think this is still it trying to get in his good graces?
I guess, but I don't know. I still don't trust him.
May 28th, he says, "I've taken Daniel's advice, but I haven't seen or heard anything yet. Still deathly quiet. Whatever flew over my house before is back. This time it isn't leaving." He then says, "This thing is making sounds I've never heard before. The vibrations are shaking the house," with this video attached. It's the house shaking. That's fun.
Yeah, kind of like a weird, ethereal. Kind of makes you think of the Mandy soundtrack.
Yeah, yeah.
Weird, like synthy, kind of like super high pitch. Almost sounds like synthetic bells.
Yeah, like it's so strong. Like it's rupturing. It's like
the shaking at the house. I thought it was a fucking motorcycle for a second.
It's almost like it knows he's in there. Mm-hmm. It's like trying to like shake him out. Mm-hmm. Almost like the way you would with like there's like a bug and like something. You're like, like try to physically shake him out of the house.
Like a cat in a box.
Yeah, like a cat in the box. Yeah. I couldn't see anything.
Is that a normal expression?
I was just going to roll with
shaking a cat in a box.
I don't know what you Missouri people do. I was going to let that one.
When
slide.
you put your cat in a box, you shake it out.
You got to shake him real hard.
You got to shake the cat out of the box. That hasn't been coined. Then I want everyone to refer to that as if it's very, very normal.
Get the cat out of the box.
You got to get the cat out of the box.
The classic scenario.
Shake it out.
Oh, cat out of the bag. That's the phrase. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna update it though. It needs to evolve into a box.
The cat's in a box. All right, there you go.
How did I not get the cat out of the bag? That's like such a normal expression.
Well, no, the expression is now the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, now the cat's out of the bag. Now the cat's out of the box.
It's not implying it's hard to get the cat out of the bag.
Well, why was
that when the cat gets out, there's
the
a
box
problem.
one makes it refer to why do we put the cat in the box in the first place? Schrodinger's cat.
That's Schrodinger. That's different.
And when he was done with it, he was like, "Do you want the cheese? Is that experiment?"
No.
Doesn't he give him cheese?
No. There's no. What do you think Schrodinger's cat is?
He's like, if you eat this cheese, you'll get out of the box. Is that not it? What is Schrodinger's cat? Am I saying his name right? Schrodinger. Schrodinger.
It's a thought. What if you get this cheese, you can get out of the box?
I thought he was just tempting with cheese. Is he not? Is there cheese? Is there cheese involved at all? In Schrodinger, there's no cheese.
The idea of Schrodinger's cat is that if a cat is placed into a box that cannot be observed, and in an experiment the cat is killed. Why was the reason the cat was killed again?
So where does the cheese come involved in?
There's no cheese. There's literally no cheese.
There's no cheese at all in the experiment.
I mean, maybe they put poison in the cheese, but I have no memory.
Is it poisonous cheese? Is that where the cheese is?
I don't think there's cheese.
Is there legitimately no cheese in this?
I don't think there's any cheese involved.
I swear to God in my life, I've talked about it. I'm like, I've definitely been like, yeah, you put the cat in the box. I was like, the cheese. And like, people were like, yeah. I think people were like, sure. Whatever. I'm so shell-shocked there's no cheese.
If there is cheese,
I thought the entire
thing, a minimal part of the experiment.
I legitimately thought that it was a guy being like, if you will get cheese if you get out of the box.
It's about killing a cat, and that it's in statistic like odds.
I thought cheese
the cat is equally dead and alive until observed. The whole point it gets used is that in experiments, like the result is two things until observed is one thing. Effectively, it applies to like quantum physics. Yeah. A result is two things until known is one.
And no cheese at all.
There's no cheese in the experiment, no. After that, he says, I couldn't see anything out the window, but I quickly snapped a few pictures just in case before taking cover. Then says, I can't believe what I'm looking at, and posts a picture.
The picture is like, looks like a fucking Ava angel, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Well,
like
geometric
a giant pyramid shape floating up in the sky, yeah.
Basically looks like kind of like a Crash Bandicoot crystal. That shape, the giant like geometric shape,
like
but then there's like
diamond.
a protruding sharp edge off.
And
of
it's
it
hard
as well.
to tell how big it is off this photo, but
it looks huge,
big as a house at least, if not like
it looks
much
huge.
bigger. Yeah. Next day, May 29th, he says day 30. It's still there, still making noise. I've locked myself in the bathroom where there's no windows, trying to fall asleep. And then says, I just woke up to this. I post a picture.
Ooh, the blue light
of now the blue light fully outside of the door.
Blue light outside the door. I wonder if there's different stages. You have the white lights there. It looks like whenever you're detected, it switches to red. So I'm wondering what the blue is going to emphasize.
Blue light could be a later stage thing. The initial invasion's done.
You would
blue
think
light's
so.
Part of something else, maybe.
Something, yeah.
He then says on May 30th, the blue light finally disappeared and that thing flew off and left. He then says, should I leave the bathroom now or stay put for a while longer? The poll by 5% more says leave. And again, this is something cool that I like. Like, it's like choose your own adventure, people pick, and then the story follows that route, right? May 31st, he says, I left the bathroom. I'm trying my best to stay calm as I type this, but I think there's a dead body in the middle of the street. There's no way I'm taking a picture of a dead body. That's too gruesome. I'm just going to try to avoid it. So then 2 days pass without any updates from the Sun Vanished or Tucker. Now, what's also interesting about this, you got to keep in mind, is like, if you were reading this like I was as it was happening, it's like the picture of the blue light is all you got for 24 hours. And then you got another bit 24 hours
Yeah,
later,
I mean, you get to have time to spend. It was kind of the same thing. We said something similar during like Gregory 88, where you're constantly just waiting for updates, and then you're speculating with it. Yeah. You're speculating with commenters.
And any time that like you see a tweet in your feed from it, you like go to the account like, okay, how many did I miss? And you go back and read up. Yeah. June 2nd, after 2 days has passed, he says, to take my mind off of what is outside, I dug deeper into the piles of books and papers scattered around the house, and I found something intriguing, to which he has a picture of a folder that he found. It says there's a series of photos of the mysterious notebook. So he has 3 photos in total from the notebook.
I regret my decision to stay. It has gotten incredibly lonely, and I have come to terms with it. In fact, that I may never see Martha or my grandkids again. This is an old man's writing. Look at this writing. This is how an old man writes. I pray to God that they, at the very least, are safer than I am. I have no real caution or regard for my own life anymore. I can only hope that what I gather from my near-suicidal experiments can be useful to someone else at a later date. I either die and be at peace or get more information. Both outcomes sound favorable. And what I absolutely love about this, there is so much room still left on the lined paper, and then he wrote on the back of it. You can already tell he wrote on the back of it.
You know what's really good about this? This would be the best thing we ever read if the next page starts. It's like, I found a cat and a piece of cheese.
For my first we're done. I'm literally done reading. Yeah. Oh, okay. So the old man has experiment notes. Experiment notes. Just in case I forget, I'm labeling it. I placed several blocks of cheese. No kidding. I placed several flashlights around the perimeter of the house, testing them at different intensities. The control being no light at all. I believe the entities are more attracted to the flashlights than myself. I got back inside before any permanent damage was done. Experiment notes again. Blue lights appeared after day 6 in the dark. Significance? Question mark. Light sources do not seem to attract their presence. Unlike the entities producing white/red flashing lights, the blue lights are higher in elevation and almost seem to come from a different entity altogether. I believe the blue lights will also be more likely to move in unison. However, there is no way to know for certain until they return, if they return at all. Kind of sound like Connor from Love on the Spectrum, don't I? Yeah. It's not a love, it's just a crush. Experiment notes, and now he's getting a little wacky with his handwriting. Mm-hmm. I have Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It finally happened. I was being reckless and I looked into the light. The red light. I feel empty inside. The sun is back. I do like the sun is back, but it's funny to think that like a man going crazy is just going to like,
scribble.
I'm wonky. I feel my earthly ties leaving.
My hands are so tired.
If it wasn't this, it would have been something else. I'm old. But I do like the whole idea the sun is back.
The sun is back is good.
Which is also him going crazy and he's able to see something.
Yeah.
He's getting revealed something whenever he goes crazy, which is kind of fun.
It's like, we see the beauty. Like there's some revelation they have, right? Yeah, the sun is back is really good. So what was his conclusion off the blue lights? The blue lights showed up when?
It's an entity, a different entity altogether is what he's saying. He's saying that the white and red flashing lights they seem to be attracted more by the flashlights from what I remember. He said, but the blue entity doesn't seem to be affected by the flashlight at all. It just seems like something different. I'm guessing that's like the elite, more advanced entity is what I would assume. Probably. He also says it's elevated. So I don't know if he means elevated as in it's like up in the sky shooting a light in, or if it's literally like floating, like you can't hear it walking around.
Yeah.
Because that also proves that maybe whenever he was in the house and the flower wasn't disrupted, it could have been a blue light went in and just floated above it.
Could have been one of those.
How it got past the solo cups and the cans, I don't know.
I don't know. They're not. But that's some advanced tech.
I would recommend stacking cups.
As long as no one finds their true weakness.
Yeah, the red solo cups. Please.
Upside down,
do
preferably
haste. Make haste.
Yeah.
Raid the stores and get solo cups.
The solo cups are back.
And the cans. Peel the labels off the cans to make it look more old-timey. Like you're a hobo. Become a hobo.
Whatever you do, don't leave a house where you've stacked the solo cups upside down.
Never leave the house. Also, watch Dennis the Menace on VHS if you find it. It has the answers.
The writer's like, oh no.
Oh God. The writer with his fucking freakishly long fingers. Have you seen the guy's hands?
His hands were pretty.
He walked in the house before he like walked in the house. I was like, God damn, dude.
It's like
everything everyone wants. The hot dog hands. It was like that. He like opens up. Hello. Gloob glorb. Like, this motherfucker's an alien already. Holy hell. Fire in the sky.
Glib glorb. So after this, he says, yes, the sun is still gone. I have no clue what this journal is talking about. Seems like the same talking nonsense Tucker was talking about with his friend Flynn. So we can assume Flynn was also having a similar, like, revelation.
You'd be kind of a good way to show somebody's kind of becoming a bit senile when writing on line paper, instead of just doing squiggly lines, being like, oh, there goes my mind. What if you kept, so on every time you were writing, you were writing in the lines. Mm-hmm. Then the next one is like you're writing, but you're like writing on a line, and on the last note you're writing your sentences, but they're all over each other on the same line. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm trying to read what you're writing, but it's like he wrote it and then he wrote the next sentence on top of it. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Okay, I'm almost positive in the Mandela catalog they do that. I feel like when someone's you've never seen it. I know it. I'm friends with the creator of it, so I'm familiar with it. But I didn't.
No, I actually know him like really well.
I've lost this point in the conversation because he's just going to do that whenever I try to. Have we not
talked about? I thought that we talked about the Mandela.
We've mentioned it, but we've never watched it together.
I was reading this book called It, written by Stephen King. I know him really well. Have you heard of that?
What I was meaning is like, oh well, I meant that to say like I talk about it a lot, which is why I'm not even going to try to.
Well, it's such a personal thing whenever you're just like that close with the guy. So it's like
June 3rd, Tucker returns. He says, "I'm alive." To which, right after the sun vanished, post a few screenshots of DM conversations with Tucker.
So this is Sun Vanish talking to Tucker again.
Yeah, Sun Vanish is posting his conversations.
Sorry I was gone so long. Power went out where I was, so I've relocated. Trying to slowly work my way towards the West Coast. My reception is a bit spotty.
Wait. He's in Virginia.
I think he's trying to work his way to the West Coast is what he's saying.
But he's like, I'm going to do a 1,800 mile.
I guess. I mean,
maybe we don't know details. Maybe like the East Coast got hit hard and he hears it's better West.
Well, I'm wondering if he also reveals later if he's going to be like, I've heard that the West Coast is clear.
Yeah.
You know, because in these movies, like even like I Am Legend and all these other things, where it's like a big thing happens.
Oh, there's a safe zone, and
exactly.
Yeah,
it's where it's like, if you're alive, come here.
Yeah, like that whole thing with The Walking Dead at the beginning. It's like France is the last holdout. Like everyone hears France being like,
oh, okay, yeah. So maybe something like that. But I saw the picture you took with the thing in the sky. If you can see one of those again, get as low as you can. And if you see the blue light, do not let it shine on you. So that's actually kind of interesting.
Don't let it shine on you.
Don't let it shine on you, but also Danion also said get low. So maybe he is fine.
That's true. He could know.
Because if he was an imposter.
Why would he say no to the pictures then?
I don't know. To me, that doesn't make sense. Like you just. To me, that felt stupid. It felt like a way of being like, oh, I just want to stir up the pot and like, I don't know if we can trust him. Yeah. I think there should have been a different way because he was just so pressing before to where now it only makes sense. So if he is still fine, it feels weird that he'd be like, come on, we don't have time for this. It's just like answer the fucking question.
Yeah. So then Savannah says, I'm so glad to hear from you. Are you okay? Daniel texted me saying to stay low too.
Yeah, I'm doing okay considering what I've been through.
Sunvanish says, why should I not let the blue light shine on me? What happened that makes you say that?
Well, when I got out, I saw someone running away. And when the blue light shined on them, they, suffice to say, it wasn't pretty. I think it's kind of funny that he actually typed shined on them and they,
Suffice to say,
it wasn't pretty. It's almost like he's actually talking. It's almost
it's
like
when people do that
sigh.
thing. Yes. Oh my gosh, that drives me crazy. They're all the time like, it's a specific kind of people on Twitter. All the time like, well, ... you know,
sigh.
I sigh, you know, ... like, no. Just, what are you doing? You're putting sentence breaks in text. Quit that. So it wasn't pretty. Like, explain to me. I know he's doing that to build up tension, but it's like Tucker would tell him like, "Oh, he exploded," or whatever.
Or even saying something like, "There's actually no way I can describe it.
They died."
He's became into a pulp.
Yeah,
it's hard to even
describe.
He
got condensed into the size.
You can give
of
a little bit
tangerine.
while still, but it wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean, Tucker? Yeah, I'm going to the West Coast.
Thanks, Tucker. That's really.
I stopped by a couple of grocery stores, got some red Solo cups and cans, and we're making our way out there.
They were almost out.
Before I die, I want to hit the biggest wave. Yeah, you surf too? Just starts like a weird bromance about
Yeah,
surfing.
it is.
We got to hit one. Yeah, we have to go down to Hawaii, hit the Maluku Maka
What
Maka.
movie is that where it's like we got to hit the wave or whatever? It's Keanu Reeves. Point Break. Yeah, got to hit that wave. The last wave. Yeah.
Almost said Chicken Run, Chicken Little, but that's. But it's because I was thinking of what's the fucking penguin movie where he surfs and there's like a chicken, and Napoleon Dynamite voices the chicken, right?
That's
Surf's
Surf's
Up.
Up.
Surf's.
That's Surf's Up.
Okay.
Chicken Little. Is
Well, I'm
about-
saying that I was
okay.
thinking of the fucking chicken.
Yeah.
I want.
Surf's Up is. About
I also want to
penguins.
fact check immediately on the Schrodinger's cat thing that there was no cheese. I want to fact check somehow.
Can someone please look
Put
up?
it in the edit. I'm just saying I want justice on that.
Okay, but we're leaving this in regardless of what the solution
Okay, well,
is. You find
that's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
Chicken Little and Surf's Up, kind of similar.
There's
also
one
Chicken
in
Little's on
Surf's
my
Up.
mind because I think that's an alien invasion movie.
The sky's falling. Yeah, and it turns out it's aliens. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, my mind works in pretty interesting ways.
So there's 2 days without any updates, and then Tucker says on June 5th, just past the Virginia state line, hoping my family will be okay. They said his family's just like being sucked up to the sky.
Yeah, I hope you guys are right. I'm going to the West Coast. What? Bye. Also, 2 days, and he's just now getting past the Virginia line. How fucking long is it going to take you to get to the West Coast, dude?
It depends. He can't take any main roads because he said earlier traffic, like there's a bunch of abandoned cars on him and stuff.
It also
like that.
seems like the gas stations aren't working.
Yeah. I assume he's bringing a bunch of gas.
Probably.
I'd say.
Cups full of gas.
Cups. The whole bag's just full of cups.
Just stacked on top of each other.
They're spilling everywhere every time it turns.
Oh, God.
Gas is getting low. Keeps falling out. If only someone made a container to hold gasoline
I wish there
in.
was like a plastic container I could put this in.
And preferably red, like my cups. Hoping my family will be okay.
Preferably red. If I could have preference, I would make them red.
I would make them red, perhaps with a black or yellow nozzle of some kind so I can see it in low light conditions, like right now. Hoping my family will be okay. They said they haven't seen anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Well, that goes back
What?
to the whole thing where some people, for some reason, are like, it's localized to a few people for some reason. So he's like contacting his family, but everything's normal with them. But for him,
But are we
it's a
saying that the
blackout.
family's in Virginia, though?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know yet. So June 6th, Sun Vanish says, the body's just gone. Didn't see what happened to it, but it's not in the street anymore. That same day, Tucker says, I took a chance and decided to drive through Indianapolis. That was a mistake, crawling with headlights. June 8th, the water from this house is dark now. Thankfully, I filled up my bottles with clean water, but I won't be able to stay here much longer after I run out. 2 days later, the Sun Vanish showed screenshots of text with Danyan, where all that the Sun Vanish says, Danyan, I'm sorry for what I did. Please respond. He does not need to be sorry. And then the same day, 20 hours later, still no response. The next day, June 11th, Tucker says,
Been hiding out, waiting for the roads to be clear. Slowly making progress.
because after that, there's 3 days.
What's kind of, and you know, we're reading this, but it is kind of interesting to have, if it's just like days passing and that's the one tweet you get, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Showing up and you're like open the app or you're looking at it however and you just see that one thing, you're like, oh shit, okay, he's still going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what was fun about it, because like I remember as this was happening, like being like, any tweets today? No. Any tweets today? No. And then it's like 2 days later, it's like that's the one tweet you get. It's like, yeah, right, okay, cool. Because there's always also the fear with these that like the creator will lose interest. Like,
Sure.
quit posting at some point.
Did that ever happen?
There were a couple of ARGs I remember that like got started and then just like
Just
didn't
died
go
off.
anywhere. They just didn't have any followers, not a lot of attention. The Sun Vanished like day one blew up. As that video of the news with like the sun has gone out went super viral.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember everyone was all over it. So this one had a lot of traction. What's funny is right after I said, "Oh, I'll do the Sun Vanish," you do Tucker. The next Nate has a note here that says Tucker disappears for over a month. So great timing on me putting together that.
Schrodinger's cheese, my friend.
All right. So anyway, after this, Tucker disappears for a month. Sun Vanish says, "Thankfully, there's been no activity to take note of. I'm worried about Tucker though." And then, guys, someone's at the window. Next day, June 15th, says, "It's too dark to make out anything. I just hear frantic knocking. It could be Daniel or it couldn't be. I guess there's only one way to find out, and there's a video attached."
Sun's back. Sun's
Oh. That's pretty cool.
The person on the outside was whispering the sun has vanished, right?
No, they said the sun is back.
They said the sun is back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. That's pretty fun. Yeah. I like, too, how you couldn't tell what it was for a minute. It took a second to come in.
I thought I heard something, and I was like looking over, and I was like, what the fuck? I could have swore I heard like just a little murmuring. I like that. That's fun.
The sun is back. That's cool. I like that. So then he says, they're still there at the window. I don't know what to do. Person is still standing at the window, but they aren't making noise anymore. Oh, God, never mind. They're banging on the window now with this video attached. I think with their head. That's fun. It's just flash shatter. Are you laughing at something funny?
Just the end bit, just kind of funny. But the I do think all this stuff is super effective whenever it's just simply in his house.
Yeah.
You know,
the home invasion
the lights and
good.
stuff are fun. I was gonna save this for later, but I almost feel like you would just save that for like later on.
You can have a hint of it at the beginning, like in the distance you see lights, and then it shows
But
up
like
later,
this stuff, the build up is so nice.
The people whispering and the glass shattering and stuff like that's fun. That's good. And then he has a final tweet from that day where he says, they're in the house now. They're looking for me, with a picture attached of bare feet from underneath the doorway.
Probably fucking. You know what's fucked up about this? The immersion broken, dude.
Why?
Because I can tell with those gangly, long ass fucking toes, that's definitely the sun vanished. Identical to his hands.
Those look kind of feminine.
Well, he looks like a slender boy. With his hands and stuff, long, lanky ass fucking hands. Hello?
You really got freaked out by those hands.
Hello? Look at him. Have you seen him? And he's got the grays. He's got the grays feet.
I guarantee you the 7 women in our audience are going to love
his tootsies.
Hands. Yeah, no, his tootsies, his hands.
Oh, his hands.
Girls like hands. That's
the veiny hands. They have the finger rings.
Yeah, you guys like that.
It has that soundbite. What the fuck is that soundbite that's popular with a lot of cringe videos? It's like, say it again. I think I liked it. Say that again. I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That deal? With that deal? Like corpse husbandy kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
All those guys. Dream.
Exactly.
Like Dream.
I don't think Dream looks like that.
Dream people think he's cute, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean,
and he's got the hands.
His thing wasn't.
And he cries
I
on
don't
stage.
think it was as explicit with like Corpse, because Corpse's whole thing was like, most of his
whatever
stuff
happened to that
on
motherfucker? Where'd he go?
He
used to read creepypastas, right?
Yeah, he did. He did back in the day. He read a bunch of these.
Maybe he could be a guest on our show.
Well, he did music for a while and stuff like that, but I think he dipped from the internet after he got like a bunch of people kind of turned on him. I think a picture of his face got out and people were making fun of him and stuff, and then he dipped. But he dipped around the same time that was happening.
Dude, Corpse, you want to read a spooky story? Come on out, dude.
Yeah.
Would you bring him on with his sexy voice?
Yeah, I'd bring Corpse on with a sexy voice, I think.
Can you do a Corpse impression?
That was pretty good. That was about the right
Wasn't
tone,
bad.
I think.
Yeah, that was the same register.
Welcome to Creepcast.
Yes.
Is that what he would say if he was on Creepcast?
I feel like you've practiced in the mirror.
I'm Corpse Husband, and this is Creepcast.
I'm Corpse Husband, but I just got possessed by Isaiah.
This is Corpse Husband, and I'm on Creepcast now.
I feel like you've done this shirtless in your bathroom in the mirror.
Why? Why would you say that out loud? For the 7 women in the audience will remember that. Did you see them getting upset over that? The 7 women thing. There are a bunch of girls like, there's more than 7 of us.
Yeah, I mean, it's a meme. And now there's the people have been saying there's the 7 sister cult.
The 7 sisters. I like that.
And that's sick. The 7 sisters.
You got 7.
For all of our girlies out there.
It.
Yes. That was pretty. I felt my soul kind of leave my body.
That was
yeah.
The reason you were that enthused because it was a point of meanness to a point I brought up. That was counter to me, so I did not appreciate that. June 16th, he says, been hiding for 20 hours. That's such a long time to be hiding. I think they're gone. I need to check the house first. So he says, where should I check first? Another poll. Options are upstairs or downstairs. Upstairs wins 60%. So June 17th, he says, I'm heading upstairs. First pick, the person has definitely been up here. It is a picture of a bloody handprint across the wall. Okay.
100% sun vanished because
right.
of those fucking long ass fingers. Look at that.
That looks like
someone check his fucking DNA, dude, because it is not going to be human.
That is the biggest hand I have. If either one of those is the pinky, that's terrifying.
This right here is his thumb.
There's no way.
It's
no.
He's got a long ass thumb.
No, it's this. He's doing this. It's the top four. It's the top four, right? So if it's right or left hand, his thumb's off the wall to the side, right? No way his thumb's that scary. And also because there's only 4 fingers there. So unless he's missing a finger.
I wouldn't throw anything, but I don't even think he has 4 fingers. I think he took his 3 fucking alien hand and he kind of combined them and it got botched
together at the same time. They're still there upstairs. Just snapped this before getting out of there. It's another.
Wait, so they're still up here? I'm telling. Look at that lanky motherfucker.
That's got to be a woman, I think.
This is 100% a guy.
You think that's
a lanky, tall man? I bet you this motherfucker's like 6'8". Hello?
He might be Slender Man.
Hello? Yeah. If this, honest, I'm not even joking. If this fucking goes into a Slender Man thing, I'm flipping the desk.
No, that is definitely a woman because we heard her whispering the sun's back.
That was a person outside, though.
Yeah, that was a woman. No, but then they smashed their head through the window. Now they're inside.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're saying that this is the woman
that is the woman that was whispering the sun is back.
I still believe that it's him.
Okay, whatever.
I bet he's like, oh, it's the girl from outside, but it's just him taking a picture of himself.
I mean, that could be true, but in the story, it's the girl from outside.
It's supposed to be the woman, yeah.
Yeah. So he says, staying low, staying safe. She seems to be in a trance. She was trying to track me down before, but now, even if I'm right in front of her, she doesn't react. Then we get another message, June 18th. I don't think she's a threat anymore. I locked her in the room where she's standing. June 19th. Holy shit, I woke up to find the door busted open.
First off, before I go into the picture or the video here, how do you feel about the whole like holy shit, this just happened as a tweet, like him tweeting that versus it like as like an actual tweet? Does that feel weird that like in this moment you're like, oh, you know what I mean, and it just happened? Does that? I mean, I just thought of that and I was like, why the fuck is that?
So I can suspend my disbelief because it is the medium of the story.
Sure. Okay, that's fine.
And if this was a scenario where they are still running the gambit that this could really be happening, Gregory88 did a decent job of that where he'd be like, I'm going to do a thing. And then 8 hours later, he'd be like,
past tense or whatever.
This is what happened.
Yeah.
And he would describe it. That was more believable because it was more grounded, at least initially, before we got to the
Well, I like the idea of, it helps me at least, even in Gregory 88 with the fucking eggs and all that shit. At least it was something like, I'm going to do this, break. He went and did it. I'm going to tell you about it.
Yeah.
Like you just said. But it feels weird that during the action, you'd be like, let me tweet this out real quick.
I forgive it here because it is about giant aliens that are running spaceships and control
That's
lights.
all fine.
With choose your own adventure routes.
And that's all fine to me.
Yeah.
I'm almost disassociating this even as like tweets then. And
yeah,
it's almost
correct.
like you're in the room with him.
Yeah.
Being like,
yeah.
this is happening.
I don't think of it as tweets at a certain point. It's just a medium of the story. Yeah.
Is that our boy helping him out?
I think it might be.
They knew that he was there and that he didn't. And
Reached for him under the bed, it looked like.
Yeah, they definitely knew that he was there. So I'm wondering.
Reaching for him, heard a noise, runs outside. Then he says, after the car horn, I heard a gunshot. The sun vanished, post some screenshots of text with Danyon.
I found your Twitter.
Is that you honking outside and the gunshot?
Yep.
Then, so we have the same problem as we had before. Can I trust you?
At your 11th birthday party, I gave you a Batman Lego set. Is that good enough? Grab your stuff. Let's go. How hard was that to just do that the first time?
Early. Maybe there was... I don't know.
It could have been it could have been something that read like animosity of like, what, you think I'm one of them or something?
I mean, that could have been the author's intention. It could have also have been maybe the entity or whatever controlled Danyon for a little bit and I don't know. But anyway, he posts this video next. So he is now in the car with Danyon. You like the shot of the guy? Is that a desert eagle? My gosh. Yeah, he's got a massive. Jesus. Oh no, it's not. It's like a 1911 or something.
Also, I like how he doesn't say anything. He's just sitting there with his gun in his lap,
and he was just filming it as he ran.
Way to go, asshole!
So let's get out of here. So now the sun vanishes with Danyon, right? And this is actually when I quit keeping up with it. Because that happened, and there was a 2-week hiatus, and I may have saw 1 or 2 things afterwards, but up until this point, I was keeping up with everything as it was posted.
So now you're going in blind now.
Now I'm going in blind. Okay. I don't know what happens after this. So 2 weeks later, July 7th, Sun Vanish talks again and says, I'm finally back. There's so much that I have to catch you all up on. You won't believe what I've seen. After the last video I tweeted, Danyon and I drove a ways into the boonies to stay away from where all the activity is in town. He brought camping gear, so we stayed in a tent out in the woods for the last couple weeks. It wasn't long before we were out of range from any cell towers, but I made sure to still document anything significant. On our way out of town, we noticed what appeared to be a star in the sky, but almost as soon as I pulled my phone, the star disappeared. And then this is the video. So one singular star, as soon as it starts to be videoed, fades out. Then says the next day, July 8th, once we got far enough away where we couldn't see the city lights anymore, we set up camp. It was actually sort of peaceful for a bit, and it gave Danyon and I plenty of time to catch up, but unfortunately there was some rising conflict between us. Danyon isn't a fan of me broadcasting my situation on the internet. He thinks it's dangerous. My philosophy is that I have a chance to reach out to other people who might be in the same situation as I am, but suffice to say, he hasn't been in a hurry to get back to reception. At this point, we had been arguing for days on what to do next until our decision was made for us. A storm rolled in and we saw this. That actually looked really good.
That was fun.
For like what this is, like just a little Twitter ARG put together, like the shape floating across the sky. Yeah. That's fun. That's cool. So with the activity getting closer to our campsite, I finally convinced Danyon for us to pack up and drive toward the closest cell tower. Do I trust Danyon? Yes. Do I trust his judgment? I'm not so sure. July 12th, we've been camping out next to the cell tower. Danyon took the car and left a few hours ago to find more fuel to siphon. While Danyon's gone, I'm free to answer any questions you all have. Nate's note for us says the sun vanished as a short Q&A session, which is mostly not that important to the story, but gets one message from an account or character that will be important later. So this is the sun vanished saying, without knowing your situation, all I can say is to stay low. If you are inside, stay away from windows and doors. Good luck to you, to your survival. He shows screenshots of messages from a character named Nat. Nat has been making cursory posts since August 30th, where they've been compiling a survivor guide by taking messages from others dealing with the sun vanishing. This will be cut for brevity's sake, and they won't be brought up again until they begin interacting with our characters.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the story, we said that the sun vanished, Tucker, and Nat were going to be the 3 most important. So this is the first introduction to Nat.
So Nat, so actually, Nat had been talking since August, but this is, or sorry, no, we're talking in July. The next month, Nat will make survivors guides, like stay away, do this and stuff. For the sake of brevity, for whatever that matters on the show, we're not going to be going through all of them, but just know that's like so Nat's biggest role. There's so many of these.
I mean, like,
this went on for years.
This is a very consolidated thing, but they were like responding to tons of stuff. Like it just like as for the overarching story of us reading this now, it's just we're just cutting it down. There were
Q&As he would do where it would be. I do remember some of this where like the sun vanish would answer like dozens of questions about like what's your name, is your family okay, and it'd mostly be like I don't know. Maybe, and it would be us reading that for like a while.
I mean, there's just tons because it was so interactive. It's so easy to tweet out stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
and it went on 4 years. So this is consolidated, but this is our first introduction to Nat. If you want to read what she said,
yeah, it says, "Hey, the sun vanished. I'm Nat. I've survived 2 months now thanks to the info you've accumulated and shown us. I owe you. I want to make a guide for survival, pick up where the news outlets left off, and I've been trying to collect anything I can from the other survivors out there and was wondering if you have any tips." Which is kind of I like the introduction to this kind of character because it lets him at least build in this world of, It's almost like, you know how many fucking zombie survival books there are?
Yes, yeah.
So it's like, you get to kind of have that with this, which is cool.
It's that element, but it's for like an alien invasion where the sun went out. Yeah. So July 13th, I just woke up and Danyon is still gone. And then he says, no response in close to 12 hours and shows a screenshot of a text message he sent to Danyon that just says, where are you? July 14th, I'm stuck here with no car, no gun, just a tent and the essentials. July 15th, I only have 38 hours of battery left if Danyon doesn't come back with a car.
It's been 2 days.
Yes.
By this point.
July 16th. Guys, we have a new problem. I can't see anything, but I can hear someone walking around my tent. And then, oh God, never mind. Now I can see with this video. Okay, I gotta say, I really like the aliens being depicted as flashing lights that make clicking noises. Something about it so mechanical, so simple. Weird. Yeah,
it's nice. Yeah. Also, too, we have got to put an epilepsy warning at the beginning of this fucking episode. Also, there, blue tint, was that a white light or was that a blue light?
That was a white light.
It was a white light.
I'm pretty sure
I thought it was
light.
too. I couldn't tell because it's just illuminating it. But
I think it's a white light, especially because earlier, like blue night, I don't know if they said they don't make noise, but that was the white light noise for sure.
It's one that we've definitely heard, but I was wondering why would the white light be there if there's been... Well, I thought that they were attracted to flashlights and stuff, so maybe he was like looking around with it.
Yeah. Maybe
also, to be fair, his light is on the
That's true, on his camera. Yeah, that's true. Then says, this one is different from the others. It's just wandering aimlessly and flickering at random intervals. I'm fighting the urge to go check it out. I know it's too risky, but I only have 5 hours of battery left, not a single sign of Danyon returning, and not much else to lose. And then he does a poll to either stay in the tent or investigate. Oh, they said yes. Okay, so they voted leave.
So he said, quickly snap this pic, and it's just a pretty ominous picture of a guy standing in some tall grass.
Then he says, I followed it into the crops to get a good look at it. The crops are about 6 to 7 feet high, so that gives you a good idea of how much taller it was. Oh, so that was like...
huge.
It's like 13 feet tall. Yeah.
I mean, it's at least... I would say, 13 feet. It was fucking huge.
July 17th, next day, he says, less than 2 hours of battery left. I'm powering down my phone for now. Wish me luck. Then, the sun vanished, disappears for 2.5 months.
Pretty crazy.
That's such a wild interval. But at the same time, Tucker's story picks back up. So then Tucker says...
Hey, everyone. Sorry it's been so long. But if you ask, no, I'm not really okay. The Church of the West Coast was unsuccessful. I couldn't get through Indianapolis. I haven't heard from my family. Says it twice. Maybe that's a typo. I don't know. Just caught up to the sun vanished situation. Wow. Sun vanished isn't safe. I'm not safe. Nobody is safe. You cannot trust anyone except yourself. Save yourself. I miss my family. So is Tucker's family in Virginia, or is he going to them in the West Coast?
I think he's going to them in the West Coast.
That's what I think.
I think that's what it is. That's why he's trying to travel to the West. Yeah. Tucker leaves as quickly as he came and goes dark for almost 3 months. So now... at the same time,
which also just to notice some of the times here too, we're talking July 21st. The posts are becoming more sporadic, because before it was daily, multiple times a day. Now we're going. It was 3 days, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Now that's 21st, and then the next post isn't until the 31st. So 10 days now, which I think is the longest span we've had between posts.
Then after that, it says that on July 31st, it's the first time that Nat becomes important outside of world building. Nat says, poll, should I try to message Tucker and interview him? And there's a yes or no poll with yes winning by a landslide. So on August 6th, Nat posts their interview messages with Tucker.
Basically what it seems like here is that she's asking Tucker, it seems like Nat is asking Tucker questions to be like, is Tucker actually who he says he is? And he's posting. Because here, Nat says, why do you repeat certain words/phrases? Tucker says, excuse me. And then she says, you've been repeating certain words/phrases in your tweets and messages, usually a sign of drinking contaminated water. So that's the part where we say, I haven't heard from my family. Haven't heard from my family. The double there. I thought it was a typo, but it's actually intentional.
And then you read over it a second because, again, we assumed it was a typo. But when he says that one thing where he was like, I miss my family. He says, that's interesting. And it's a sign of drinking contaminated water.
Tucker says, I'm fine. It isn't that big of a problem.
I'll read Nat.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, what about your family? What happened to them?
We are not talking about that. If you mention that again, I will block you. I will block you. That's suspicious.
Okay. Have you seen what the strobe's headlights look like?
Kinda. I've been able to make out a silhouette of one of them.
What does it look like?
It kind of had the shape of a person, but definitely didn't move like a person.
Interesting. Can you elaborate? What did it move like?
I don't know. Not normal.
If it has the shape of a person, did you see its head?
I don't know.
Did it chase after you? How tall was it?
I don't know.
How did you get away?
I don't fucking know. When you're in the moment, fight or flight. You weren't thinking about this shit. You don't notice details. You just have to stay alive.
I'm sorry, but we just want to know what's going on.
Nat, have you ever been in a situation like I have? Have you ever had to run like your life depends on it? Because if you had, you'd understand how difficult it is to recall things. When you're in a situation like that, all you care about is one thing, survival.
You're right. I haven't been through something like that.
Nat, how old are you?
14. 14? Oh, no. All right. Well, that's the sun vanished, everyone. Enjoy. 14?
I'm telling you, because the person who is probably making this is probably around that age.
Right.
Hello? 100%. Some like 14-year-old gangly alien boy.
That explains a lot of like some of the
baseball bat, the cups,
the baseball
everything.
bat, the
yes,
cups,
absolutely.
The running into the car and the guy like has one gun.
It's just a bunch of teenagers, probably high schoolers even.
You're right.
It's probably a guy too who it's like he's 17. He's probably made this. He's 17. He's like, oh, she's like a little younger than I am. She's 14.
Yeah,
whatever. And she's like, sense, a curious whatever kid who's online, chronically online, blah blah blah. Right,
because to him, 14 isn't comedically young for someone who's trying to put together
younger.
Survival. Yeah.
But like when I was 14, I knew blah blah blah.
That's how you describe like a novice when you're 17. Yeah. A 14-year-old who now is like a child.
And Tucker's a fucking 38-year-old guy.
Yeah,
who's like, I'm from Virginia.
It'd be funny if it's like, I got to get back to my family across the country. How old are you? 16.
I get it. You're young and eager to obtain information because you have no idea what's really out there. But I promise you, if you experience things for yourself, you'd have a very different set of priorities. Where have you been staying this whole time? In your house?
Yeah.
Yeah. So cut me some slack because you haven't been through what I have.
It's interesting. Like, I can't tell if it's like the writing or part of the story that she's like, oh, well, like, why have you been repeating stuff? And he's like, girlie, you'll get it when you're my age. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Trust me. Go through a divorce and you'll be repeating a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Try 2 lawsuits with one ex-wife. See what happens.
Listen, just give me some time. I'll come to you when I jog my memory about what I've seen. Okay.
I looked at the screen. That dog. That's the scariest thing I've seen so far.
Little pupper.
Give me a heart attack.
And she just responds with okay.
Yep. And then Nat goes dark for 2 months.
Yeah, so now we're not getting our next post isn't until September 30th, 2018, which is kind of interesting because I know that I think we said this at the beginning, but I mean, this thing only closed out. At least the last posts that we have here are up until 2023.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing these time jumps to where this story has stayed committed for so long, even if the posts are like, okay, well, you're not going to post for a month or however long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. So the Sun Vanished returns September 30th and says, I'm back. It's been a long time, but I'm back. I don't have much time. Extremely low battery, but there's a car close by. I can see it. And then it says, from what I can tell, the car door is open and dinging, meaning the keys are still in the ignition. Sends a picture. You can see like the car lights out in the distance. That's a cool pic. And he says, oh God, it's warm here. There's a hot spot, but it's my one ticket to getting my phone charged and getting away from here. And then he posts this video. So it's him seeing the car out in the distance. What is this kit?
He's trying to charge. It's a charging kit for I think his
phone.
Yeah, I think so.
It also looked like it had a light on one of them. Maybe that's what he's using for light. Probably something he got off of. That's pretty menacing to see that car just open. Because it's been like months now, right?
Oh.
Bro.
My boy just got fucking Oppenheimered for real.
Yeah, you're running through the woods. It's like, oh, lay on the grass.
He's like, well, I have cancer.
Do you have to lay down?
I can't tell if he's hiding or not.
He's laying down in the grass.
But still, you're not supposed to be exposed to the light at all.
Well, it says get down whenever.
Or just get low.
Maybe it's you're playing dead or something. Maybe that's why it works. So,
I don't know,
yeah,
man. Fucking two full blast blue gamma rays to the back can't be good for you.
He's walking around, he heard something overhead, and then the blue light shine down. So I think the blue light definitely comes from the ships. Is what it looks like. You ready to meet God, kid?
I love how what was the Slenderman videos we were watching again?
Marble Hornets.
I love how Marble Hornets coded it is. Yeah. Where it's like the family vehicle, like he's getting into like a Chevy Malibu or whatever.
His mom's car. It's like, Mom, can I go park this in the road? I won't drive it. I'll just like just move it a little bit. Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, so I actually just got hit by 3 blasts of radiation. Is that bad?
Is that bad?
Mom?
Will I be okay, Mom?
His like eyes like drooping down. Like, he's like, really? Mom? I feel weird.
Okay, so then on October 1st, so the next day, he says, I have to get to a colder location. I promise I'll explain everything. And then, all right, I'm not in a cold spot yet, but where I am will do for now. The ships have certain identifiable flight patterns. So in the time he's been gone, he's learned some stuff. You can tell where they tread often by the temperature of the area, hot spots. Where they don't go as often is much more safe, cold spots. After I powered off my phone to save the last little bit of battery juice, some followers of the Twitter account figured out where I was and came to rescue me. They brought me to their shelter and had food and clean water, so I decided to live with them for about 2 months. Then, I think the flight patterns changed, and we got found out. And they didn't make it. That's why I've had to learn how to evade the ships on my own for the last few weeks or so. Okay, so that's interesting because it's like... Maybe the reason that there was a car parked out here is like there was like a group of people, like a shelter or something. Maybe that's one of their cars who tried to get away or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was an initial fallout where everyone's dead.
We didn't see the fallout, but that's just like one of the fallout. That's one of the people who rescued him.
It's one of the survivors. Yeah. Next day he says, finally found a good cold spot. There's something that I've been avoiding talking about. When Daniel left, he said he would come back, but he never did. He basically left me for dead out there in the woods. I didn't really say anything here, but I was so angry at him, I couldn't believe I trusted him. But when I turned my phone back on, I got a flood of texts from him. He shows a picture of those texts.
Hey, bud, you haven't answered any of my calls, so I don't really know if you're going to get this or not. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. The way I treated you, even the few times where my mind was actually clear, wasn't fair to you. I shouldn't have left you here. I was scared and I was confused and I didn't know what else to do. Because of what I know, I got in trouble with some people. They're threatening to kill me if I don't tell them what they want to know. Do you remember when we used to be close? Before moving away and starting our own lives, we were happy. I know it's something everyone says. Those were simpler times, but they really were. Lol. There was so much stuff I never did and never said, but it's too late now. I had my chances to fess up again, and I'm so sorry. If I'm not a goner by the time you read this, blank attitude, blank longitude. I wish I was a better friend to you. Now, is this a suicide note, or is he, like, infected, you think?
I think he's infected. Well, he said the few times my mind was clear. I think maybe what happened, the reason he wasn't answering those messages earlier and stuff like that, is because he maybe didn't fully succumb to the red light, but I think he looked at it for a bit. And I think he got messed up. It did something to him. Yeah. Which explains why I didn't answer the messages in the first place. And then the Sun Vanish says, I wish I had responded to Daniel earlier. And then some messages that he sent to Daniel and said, hey, listen to me. You aren't a goner. You are not a goner. I'm going to come find you, okay? Please tell me if you're reading these. To no response.
I'm going to assume Daniel is probably dead.
He's dead. I think he's certainly. I mean, he's been gone for 2 months. Like, good luck. He then says his coordinates are really, really far away, but his coordinates were like up in the sky.
Daniel!
But I have to find him, even though I'm still upset at him for what he did. I can't leave him in whatever the hell situation he's gotten himself into. I can't move on with that on my conscience.
I mean, you'd have to assume that he's just gone.
He's dead.
Right? At what point is it just being stupid, you know?
When you turn your phone on and those messages are from a month ago.
And you're like, I gotta find him. From 2 months ago.
From a month ago. This is where he was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I bet he's still there.
I bet he hasn't left and nothing's found him.
That didn't read like a creepy suicide note at all.
Absolutely not. He's fine.
Probably fine. 2 months, he's clear. He's mentally
I bet
clear.
that guy, A-okay.
Yeah, he's like, I got into cold plunging. I've never been so mentally clear before in my life.
I found this new crypto you really need to get in on.
You got to get in on it. It's called Blue Coin.
Blue Coin. October 4th. There's something else that I haven't told you all. I neglected to mention it because I had no idea what I saw or heard, but now I have actual proof. And he shows a video.
U.S. military jet?
Military jet, or those ships can truck if they want to. It does sound like the audio is definitely that of a military jet, but it's something flying overhead. He says, about a month ago, I saw one of the ships flying nearby, and after a loud noise, it suddenly exploded and then came crashing down. I bet you're right. It is militaries, like, shooting them down or something. Again, War of the Worlds, like, people fighting back. Honestly, at the time, I thought I was hallucinating or something, but I'm fairly certain I wasn't. That's definitely not one of the ships. That's a jet. Yeah, you're right. 2 days later, Nat returns. Nat says, happy birthday to me, and posts a screenshot of Tucker finally responding to them.
Hey, kid. Glad to see you online again. I'm sorry for popping off like I did. I let my emotions get the best of me. You're doing a good thing here with your Twitter. Don't be afraid to keep broadcasting people's firsthand accounts and experiences.
So Tucker's also gone. He's a belligerent alcoholic.
In this situation, I think being an alcoholic is perfectly acceptable.
That would be fine.
In this world where...
I mean, what else?
What else do you fucking have,
solution? Dude? Yeah. You're by yourself. You're talking to a 14-year-old on Twitter.
Hey,
who
kid.
Is the only person putting together information to help people.
Maybe in a different lifetime, kid. Maybe in a different lifetime.
That's a Tucker, what do you mean by that, Tucker?
And nothing. Nothing.
Where'd you say you were at again?
Yeah, where are you at? Hello?
I don't think...
Talk to me!
I don't think I should answer that question, Tucker. On October 8th, the Sun Vanished says, been slowly but surely making my way towards the coordinates. Bro. Hunter, I mean this with love. I would not come to anything you say.
Isaiah, I would never... I'm going to tell you this right now. I would fucking never... If I ever write a suicide note, I'm not going to tell you where it's going to be or anything. I'm probably just going to say bye. I wouldn't give that to anybody, though, would I? Would you?
A suicide note?
Yeah, if you're like, this is where my body is.
Are we talking about in real life or this specific scenario?
If you're up in anything, if you're like, I'm going to do it in the forest, would you be like, here's my longitude, latitude?
I think it changes. That may have been a suicide note. That may have also been like last known location. I don't know. But I think it changes dramatically.
Pretty heavily, like he was going to off
if that's what it is, then I don't think he would say anything. If that was a cry for help, I think he would have been like, or if like this is the last place I'm at, if I'm still alive.
Does it also not read like a trap?
Yes.
If that's the case, here's my longitude, longitude.
My theory is that he's half succumbing to the red light.
Anytime someone gives me fucking directions that are, I've had it happen a couple times. Donut.
He does that all the time.
And I was just like, motherfucker, give me a street name.
He does that all the time.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, I get it.
It's like where you live. It's like, okay. So I'm now going to punch this in, find the address that's 3 feet away.
Exactly. And I'm always happy to see him. At the same time, like, if I get another fucking latitude, longitude address again, I'm going to be up a river.
I have buddies who do that too. They'll give me pins. They'll like drop a pin for a place. It's like, oh, Angie's Barbecue.
Yeah.
Real super.
Better drop that pin.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm here.
Oh, I'll meet you there at 1500 hours. Whoa. It's like I'm in an alternate universe. Whoa.
I'm going to do Stolen Valor.
When did the general get here?
Aye, Captain. Hoorah. So every time I get a text like that now, I'm just going to say, hoorah.
Just send the salute emoji over and over.
Yeah. I think I would have to question a friendship if they gave me like latitude, longitude to a fucking Red Robin or something.
Yeah, I've had people do that. It's like,
it's ridiculous.
All right.
It's ridiculous.
I get it. Wow, you're very cool. Yeah. So the Sun Vanished then says on October 8th, I get paranoid when I'm outside of a cold spot for too long. And he said, it's weird. The closer I get to Daniel's last location, it keeps getting hotter.
I'm on fire. That's odd. I'm sweating profusely.
Whoever owned this car previously, they had an adult size sleeping bag and a child size sleeping bag in the back with a picture attached. That is great world building. I like more of that. Like you come across abandoned cars with like an adult and a child size.
I like how haunting it is to be like a family, like a parent and a kid died.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
They
Just
got, they got sucked up, or they succumbed to the red light or whatever.
Yeah. Didn't get low enough.
Exactly. Yeah. Didn't get near the ground. And also, like, just the hauntiness of, like, the car door was open, right? But it was recent. The battery was still
from
running.
your car.
It was dinging. Yeah.
Pretty creepy.
And there was a blue light right above head. Yeah, that's creepy. That's great.
Yeah.
That's an awesome element. I really like. It'll be screwed up. It's like the moment he drove away. Like they come out of the.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
wait, we were taking a piss. What do we do now, Daddy?
No.
I'm gonna give you a latitude and longitude. I'm gonna go take a nap in the forest forever.
That's so dark. Walk that way, honey. You like send the kid towards the ship.
Yeah. Don't walk that way. Close your eyes, walk, and count to 7,000. 1, 2. He just eviscerates.
He's holding the kid up by their legs, like, come and get me.
We're here. We're here. Yeah, if we don't have the Chevy Malibu, we have nothing. Give up, kid.
That was our last hope. Okay, so it really hit me just how many people have been impacted by all this. How many friends, how many families. I wish I could do more to help.
Yeah, just now.
And yeah, it took you this long. So then after this, the sun vanish disappears for 2 weeks. Tucker returns a week after his last message, and Nat makes an important post 2 days later. So 2 days later, Nat has a post, which is a screenshot of a message received from a user who believes they know where the sun vanish is hiding.
It's weird, too, how Nat is able to get all this information.
Mm-hmm. She's 14.
Yeah, I'm 14.
So someone tells Nat, hey, Nat, I think I know where the sun vanish might be. Last several weeks, there have been a lot of fighter jets flying around where I've been staying. Turns out there's an Air Force base not but 10 miles from me. Do you think the sun vanish is near an Air Force base? Well, that's kind of vague, but
What's to say? Because sure, there's a lot of Air Force bases.
There's several, yeah.
But if you're a 16 or 17-year-old writing this, you're just
He's
like, there's
near
probably
the
one.
Air Force. The Air Force got him, guys. He's safe.
He's safe.
And then after that, we get a post from Tucker on October 14th that says,
I'm much more stable now, if that wasn't already obvious by these tweets. But that shit had happened. I keep replaying the events in my mind over and over and over and over. The images won't go away. My parents and my sister. A ship was there. A blue flash just completely mutilated them. If I had done things differently.
oh my God.
If I had done things differently, it really makes the guy who's like waving his kid a lot fire.
They just instantly vaporized. It is
Mutilated too. It's just like,
it is like the War of the Worlds.
Yeah, well,
maybe not as quick.
I wish it was that quick. Man, they're just like, just fucking turn them into a pile of goo or something like that.
Yeah, just melting. It's like it burns them. So like the blue light scans, and if you play dead, it doesn't like kill you, intensify.
Yeah, that's still kind of ambiguous. I think I think you're safe to assume that.
Yeah, the white and red lights are like the ground units.
Yeah,
and then the blue light. It really is War of the Worlds. You got like the big tripods and then the little ones going around. Yeah.
If I never stormed off after that screaming match and moved away, if I hadn't been selfish, they'd still be alive right now.
Okay, so this older guy who's like, "Listen, kid, you gotta be on the road like I have," is like 21 years old.
We don't know. He could be.
Because his family he's trying to get to is his parents.
He's an old man.
And his sister, yeah.
I'm 22.
Yeah, listen, kid, when you're...
And then those fucking things came after me. Strobes, headlights, whatever you want to call them. I knew not to look at their red lights, so I shut my eyes as tight as I could. They didn't like that, so one grabbed me by the throat and repeatedly slammed my head into the wall. I got out of there within an inch of my life. And then the thing I'll never forget, when I glanced back while I was running away, was seeing it look towards me. There was a large cylinder protruding from its head, and I swear to God, its arm and legs grew right in front of my eyes.
So it's like extending. How did he get away from it?
Well, it just seemed like he just didn't look, and then it got infuriated, was throwing
him into the wall.
Yeah, I'm wondering why it didn't chase him down though, or something. Has little lasers, cuts off your eyelids.
Yeah.
You have to look.
So on October 20th, the sun vanish says, just read Tucker's updates. Oh my God. Been staying in another cold spot. This one clearly hasn't been traveled in a long time. The trees are dying here. That's an interesting note. I guess, yeah, because there's no sun. But it's like when there's a hotspot, there's like an artificial sun. He then says, used to have these kind of evergreens in my backyard when I was a kid. It's disturbing to see them dying now. Shows a picture of that. And then on October 26th, so 6 days later, he says, just drove past a junkyard full of cards. Something odd I noticed. All of the mirrors were gone. That's interesting. Are people salvaging the mirrors?
That or the aliens are breaking them.
That too. Interesting.
Or taking them or doing, I don't know.
Yeah. Could be used for something. That would be a cool defense mechanism if like they're all about lights and like seeing stuff. If you could just reflect yourself, you could get away from it. So the Nat posts a photo of a strange message they receive, which the Sun Vanished retweets. I'm a Russian soldier camping out of an old military base and recently killed what we call them.
Bushka batarko batushka.
Thank you. Or demon lights. We shot a ship out of the sky in an old World War II anti-air... What? In an anti-air cannon, and it attacked our camp. We killed it with a T-14 Armada, an armored tank. We quickly learned contact with the body equals death. So hold on. When one of the light things touch you, you die?
I don't know. Okay. I think it says like physically, but I'm not sure.
Okay. More are coming, some are bigger than others, and a mothership is right above our base and it will crush us if we shoot it. Please acknowledge this, for it might be our last stands. So some of the English is weird because it's Russian, a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So they call them demon lights, which is a fine name. That works. I'll take it, demon lights. The November 29th, 2018, I had a dream about Danyan, but it was more like a memory, I guess. When we were little, we would climb into this giant dead tree in our neighborhood. The branches could barely support our weight, so we would kick and push each other's branches until one eventually would snap. I can't help but feel like I'm already too late. Haven't heard a word from him.
The repetition right there.
Yep. Something feels really off, but I can't put into words why. Wait, what the hell do you all mean I've been gone for a month? It's only been a week or so. Oh,
yeah, he's fucked.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that guy's gone.
He's fucked.
So November 30th, he says, I don't remember how I got here, and he shows a picture. Picture is that just dead grass?
That, or is it a river?
He says, I'm racking my brain to try to think of what happened. I wish I tweeted more so I could remember. But you guys are right. It's been a month. December 1st, I feel like that's what I've been doing. Napping. I have so little energy, but I should definitely check my camera roll. These were taken 4 years ago. For some reason, they were in an album called Remember. 4 years ago. Okay, the things to remember: roadway, a deer, and a wall. So that's probably priming something that'll show up later, but they were in his camera from 4 years ago. That's interesting. Savage then says, I know I sound crazy, but it feels okay to stay here. I think here is safe. Next to the water. Next to the waters. Yeah, he's 100% gone to the water.
He's contaminated by the water.
But you can, because as proven from earlier, when he goes to the different house and drinks the other water, you can get over the water stuff.
Yeah, he just needs to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Tucker says,
at the Sun Vanished, you need to leave now. You are not safe. This is exactly what the water's designed for. They're going to come for you.
Sun Vanished then quote retweets that and says, something is keeping me here. I try to leave, but I just come right back. I don't know what to do. Next day, December 2nd, the Sun Vanished posts a cryptic photo. This picture, what am I looking at?
Looks like he's seeing the sun.
Oh, you think?
The sun is back.
He posts that and then says, I can't believe I'm alive. I'm alive. It took everything out of me. I kept forgetting why I needed to leave, but you all helped me. Thank you. I understand now what people mean when I hear about close encounters with these things. It isn't just a light. It looks into you. And then the Sun Vanished posts a screenshot of a conversation with Tucker.
You all right?
Yeah, just a bit scraped up.
I meant mentally, not physically.
Oh, I don't know. I feel different, I guess. I swear on my life that I didn't look into the light. It's just that I've never been this close to one before.
Yeah, I think I understand what you mean.
But what did you mean by this is exactly what the water was designed for in your tweet?
From what I've heard, that seems to be the purpose of whatever is in the water. It leaves you psychologically vulnerable and easily influenced by circumstances. The question is where it came from and why.
December 4th, the Sun Vanished says, why do they want us alive? The blue light from the ship seems to be an exception, but I've had plenty of narrow escapes from the water, the headlights, and the ships, and I can't be the only one. I mean, I'm crafty, but not that crafty. What the hell do they want with us? Nat then posts an interesting message they received from a Chemical Battalion member. Okay, so this...
First off, love that profile picture.
So
profile picture's so funny.
It's so funny to imagine these people messaging a 14-year-old girl. Like, here's...
She's the expert, dude.
Me with the military messaging this
also,
child.
Also, you can tell I'm in the military because my profile picture, I am in the
military. This is clearly a military picture. It'd be funny if, like, the Russian guy earlier, his profile picture is like the hammer and sickle.
Yeah. It's just Stalin.
Yeah. Hey, Nat, I'm a part of the 92nd Chemical Battalion, or at least I was. I was on leave when this mess went down. Me and some of my buddies made our way back to Fort Gillem to reconnect with my unit. That was a mistake. There wasn't really much left here, and we saw a whole mess of strobe lights, just like wandering about looking for survivors. We took off, and it's been months now from what I can tell, at least. Supplies have been low, but we've rationed what we could. Advice, do not drink the water, even if it has been boiled. My close friend, Private Logan, boiled the water and drank it. We had to leave him. Started acting weird. It hurts me to say that. I don't know how long I have left before my next scavenging run. Apparently people have been hearing jets. Hopefully this ends soon. Stay safe. It says Nat post a couple, this is again a note from Nate. Nat post a couple more screenshots of messages they received, but nothing too important. Besides this, they do not make another important post until the new year. Sunvantage for the next few weeks does a Q&A that doesn't have much importance to the story. Then on December 29th, Sunvantage says, I have some news on my progress. I'm on a highway, the quickest route to get to Danion's coordinates. He's still going for
Jesus Christ, dude. It's been months. He started his journey in October.
Just trying to find him. I'm on a highway, the quickest route. Only problem is that the highway takes me through a city, and he shows a picture. Oh, there's streetlights? Well, I guess he said the power's in and out.
In and out.
So it goes in and out, yeah. It's just always nighttime. He says, it's risky, but if I take the chance going through the city, it will take much less time than trying to go around. What do you guys think? And then he does a poll between going through the city or not. Going through the city wins. Now, December 31st, he says, city it is. I'll start driving again soon. Wish me luck. And then goes dark for over 2 weeks.
And that was the last post of the year.
That's the last post of 2018. Yes.
All right, we had to move back to our studio. The recording was too long. It was too long of recordings back to back. So here we are.
It was taking a biblical amount of time. Yes, January 11th. So after the sun vanished, went dark for 2 weeks. Nat then posts a screenshot of someone sending them a photo of the sun seemingly being back.
The quote says, so many people pretending with this shit. Why? You aren't fooling anyone. The person is either purposely misleading or has flat out lost it thanks to the black water or red lights or a combination of the two. And then Tucker said, sorry, I haven't tweeted in a while, everyone. I might seem on edge, but honestly, I'm doing better since October. Thank you for your love and support.
So then after that, January 19th, a little over a week later, the sun vanished, posts a picture with the message, I was really nervous driving into the city limits, but I'm here. And the only picture we see is of what appears to be a pedestrian walk sign that's been knocked over. After that, January 20th, Sunvanish says, I'm being extremely careful, driving slow with all the lights off to avoid unwanted attention. No signs of life yet, which puts me really on edge.
Please help. I can't stay. There's something inside. My mom got out. I had her locked away because she wasn't herself anymore, and now she is out.
After that, Tucker quote retweets Nat's previous post and says, what the hell did I just wake up to?
Nat says, I can't do this again.
Then after that, Tucker says,
I've been frantically messaging Nat all day. No response. No tweet since late last night. I'm really worried.
Look, I just got to get back in the groove. Got to remember, the sun's gone. It's not good. People are really upset
black
about
water,
it.
red lights, blue lights.
Black water, red lights,
says.
stuff happening. Yes, yeah, a lot of people being really confused and scared. It seems that something bad's happened to Nat, or at least that's what's implying, because Tucker says, I've been trying to get a hold of her and I can't. Anyway, the next day, January 21st, Tucker says,
I don't know what to do about this. Should I message again? I didn't even stop to really think about what condition Nat has been in at this time. Not until now.
At the same time, the sun vanished has a message where he says, side note, I noticed a new photo in that album. I don't recall taking this. The picture is of what appears to be a car out front of his house. So this is the original walkway from his house that the series started at, where he saw the guy standing on the walkway. But there's a picture of a car out front, but he doesn't remember taking that picture.
Yeah, it's weird too. The photo album says remember.
Yeah.
It seems like in these states, in whatever states, he just like he knows that he needs to take a photo and put it into these folders, which maybe it's like when he knows that he's under some kind of hypnosis from
delirium,
the lights or some kind of thing.
Yeah. So January 26th, Tucker says he posts some screenshots of a bleak conversation with Nat.
I'm here, Tucker. I'm alive. I got out.
Are you okay, kid? Are you hurt? What happened? I forgot about I forgot about this whole dynamic where Nat's 14 and Tucker's like 21. So he's like a grizzled
Tucker's
veteran.
an 89-year-old man. Yeah. I'm bleeding a lot. My mom broke out of the basement where I locked her. I couldn't hurt her even though I should have. I couldn't do that to my parents again, so I left. For the first time in a long time, I left. I always forget, she's like a fetus.
Yeah, she's literally 14, right?
Yeah, probably the same age as people. Maybe a year or two younger than the person writing this actual post.
Yeah. So the average age of our viewers.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. Nat, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
And then after that, it continues in another screenshot.
It hurts a lot. I don't know where I am now, but it's cold and dark and I'm alone.
Do you have any means of getting into another building, a neighbor's house, anything?
No, I tried. All doors are locked. I tried breaking a window, but it's way tougher than it looks. His deal is just kind of funny.
I tried breaking a window, but it's way tougher than it looks. Like they walked up, just ow. That didn't shatter as easily as I thought it would.
I thought my giant hulkish 14-year-old gold hands would have completely busted the shit wide open. How wrong I was.
So after that, Tucker has a couple tweets where he says,
I can't believe this, but I'm going. I'm tired of feeling useless. I'm going to find Nat. I just don't know if that's even... Is it worth it in an apocalypse? In an apocalyptic situation? Is it worth going to save a 14-year-old
This is the guy. This is the same series where the son vanished. Is like I have his last coordinates before he got sucked up by the mothership. Yeah, I'm gonna go get him. Yeah, it's definitely not worth it. Okay, so then a few days later on the 29th, Sun Vanish says, as I expected, the low fuel warning just dinged. Got my flashlight, bat, phone. I'm on foot now. I forgot his only means of defense was a bat.
Yeah, was the photo of the bat. A good chortling moment for me.
That was great. And the cups. That was his defense mechanism.
The cups.
Which again, a 15-year-old further backed.
If you're watching this episode right now on YouTube, I want you to take time. Go get some cups, stack it up against your door, because that is the only way to watch this episode, is to have cups stacked up against the door.
And then also you have to do it at night and pretend like the sun's not coming back.
Exactly.
That's just like that now. Yep.
Yeah. Take a picture at midnight and say it's 3 p.m.
Yeah. Get a friend, find their last known coordinates, try to go there. See if you can help.
You've just summoned the Midnight Man.
You've just let the Midnight Man into your home. Then Tucker tweets that same day and says,
I'm traveling light. That isn't too far away compared to my last trip, about 500 miles or so. God damn, these people are just so far
500 miles.
Not too bad.
They're doing this
miles.
Across the entire country. 500 miles. She's not that far away.
She's not too far.
I only have to drive through 5 hot zones where the giant pyramids from Evangelion are flying.
I've gotten radiation flashed 7 times, but I'm okay. I laid real low to the ground.
Yeah, the radiation can't find you down there. A couple weeks later, on February 15th, we get the next update where Tucker says,
all right, I'm at the address Nat sent me. Looked around and can't find anything. No response from Nat on Twitter either. What should I do? I'm going to take your advice. Going to get into the house and have a look around. The house is way more kept up on the outside. Looks like it's been a shithole for a long time. Jesus.
That's kind of rough looking.
No way this much grime and dust have accumulated in just 10 months. I mean, maybe, right?
I mean, yeah, if someone was living there. Or someone has to have been in there.
Well, I'm wondering if this is could this be where she locked up her mom?
Could be. Didn't she say she was in the basement?
Possibly. I guess this does look like a kitchen. There's like a kitchen counter. Yeah, this is like a living room kitchen.
You see the cat in the middle of the picture?
Yeah, with the eyes. Hello.
That's a cool cat. Hi. That's her mom. That's Nat's mom. She became a cat.
I gave birth to a human.
That's what the aliens do. They turn people into cats.
Meow.
Meow. So 5 days later, February 20th, Tucker says,
I'm trying to think of any possible reason as to why Nat is MIA. Well, she sent you plenty of messages being like, I'm bleeding.
It's a pretty good. Help, please.
It's freezing outside, so no ships and very low chance of drones. It could be dark water, but after checking GPS, there's no bodies of water within a 10-mile radius. I guess I don't have much choice, do I? Ooh, going down to the basement, baby.
Yep, there it is. Okay, so yeah, this is where she was at, and her mom's down in the basement.
All right, here we go. Now, this is a quote followed by a vid. It says, when I press up against the wall leading to the basement, I hear this. Ooh, here we go. Give me some spooky shit here. So for people, it's just a little like a woman trembling.
Yeah, you just hear a woman trembling as like the phone's pressed up against the door. You know, for like for this being a series of tweets we're reading, every now and then it kind of gets a little monotonous. But those videos, they pick it back up. They're
yeah, I mean it was the same thing with like Gregory 88. Gregory 88 too. The pictures just go a long way. Next tweet he says, "I'm in the basement," and then now he says, "I found Nat and her mom."
Ooh, and the picture is a pool of blood.
It's like a MySpace era pool of blood.
Ooh.
Kind of photo on the floor. That's okay, I think. At least she's alive. I'm trying my best to comfort her. Maybe Nat had to kill her mom.
Oh, I bet that's why. I bet she had to kill her mom, and the whimpering was Nat.
She's just crying in the basement.
Instead of the mom. Yeah. If you had to kill me, Hunter, would you be crying in the basement afterwards?
What'd you do?
I got possessed by like the sun or whatever.
No.
Okay. You didn't let me finish what I was gonna say. Okay, what if you just like you murdered me and I didn't do anything? Would you be sad?
I'd be a little sad. I'd be like, why the hell did I do that? What's wrong with me? I'd always that kind of stuff.
That's good. Yeah. As long as there's just some level of remorse, I think that's fine.
What happened? Do that kind of thing. My voice is I still kind of sick, so I got a stuffy voice, but so that's why I like when I do that voice. It sounds like a wheezing, like a vacuum. Why did I do that? Does this sound good? Does that sound like an Ernest crying? Can you cry on command?
I think so. No, I have to like build up to it. I think if I think about really sad stuff and like try to game myself, it could happen, but it would take a bit. I don't think I can do it just.
What would be the sad thing you think about?
I don't know. Probably like someone dying. Maybe you dying. That'd make me sad. I'd be sad if you died. What would your sad thing be?
Probably like the end of like Barley and Me.
It's pretty sad.
Maybe the end of Seabiscuit. Pretty much just the end of any animal movie I probably think about it. And I'd probably get teary-eyed. Oh, damn. The horse's heart's too big.
That is yeah, Secretariat. I forgot that's the because like in real life, Secretariat had like a massive heart. It was like misgrown. It's what let him have so much like energy on the track or whatever. But in the movie, they frame it as like he just cared too much about racing.
Yeah, they were trying to do like a little Whoville Grinch thing. His heart grew three sizes too big that day. Yeah.
Next day, February 21st, Sun Vanish says, "Oh God, I just got back to where I parked. There are 4 people standing in front of my car with their backs facing towards me. I won't be." It is funny to imagine like he's just tweeting as this is happening. Like he gets in the car, he's like, "Oh no!"
That's just the silly thing about Twitter emojis. I feel like I wish that they.
But that.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like they do it later. They talk about everything after the fact. But it's also, it's a choose your own adventure ARG, whatever. But it's just a funny visual. Him in the car, like I don't know what to do. It feels very British to me for some reason.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, like in my mind, the idea of someone like tweeting in a life or death scenario sounds like something someone from the UK would do.
Oh, fuck. Oh, this bloke's fucking chasing me. I don't know what to do. Can you fucking help me?
Because in the UK, it's like if you defend yourself, it's like a life sentence. But if you murder someone, you're just like given probation for murdering for 5 months or something like that. Like
it's a bit of a tilly willy, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's why they'd be like, well, I don't want to go to jail forever, so I guess I'll tweet. That's the one thing I can do. I won't be able to outrun them. I have to get to the car, and that's the only way I can escape. doing my best to quietly approach, fill up the tank, and get in the car. And then, this is such a funny tweet. Because he says, I'll do my best to quietly approach, fill up the tank, and leave. And then the next tweet reads, they broke my arm. This hurts so much. Holy shit. Oh, then we get a video of him next to the car. It's like a PT Cruiser. I wonder if he's getting attacked. Okay,
so he's in the parking lot of like a TG Maxx. Whatever.
Looks like he's on like the road, I think. Or he's supposed to be. He's in a
parking lot. He's in a TJ Maxx parking lot.
They are right there. Look how close they are. He thought he could quietly fill up a gas tank there.
What kind of pain noises? Getting your. This is what it sounds like, by the way, to get your arm snapped.
He filled up the gas tank. As he's opening the door, one runs up, snaps his arm with their bare hands. He then manages somehow to get in the car, shut the door, and then they can't get into the car. You can just hear him hitting on it.
I really like the fall.
Snapping your arm is crazy. No, don't do that. I didn't like that. I do it like that scene of him being in a parking lot, and then there's like people standing next to the car in like hoodies. This is very like I don't know. There's a spirit to it. I like this guy just started writing a horror thing on Twitter, and then he's like, "Hey guys, I need you to come out to TJ Maxx tonight. I need to film this scene for it."
It's fun. It feels very much like Marble Hornets for sure.
Yeah, like me and the boys we're gonna do this for.
We're gonna go to the TJ Maxx.
Like it. It's cute.
We're gonna go to the TJ Maxx parking lot, and we're gonna fake break my arm.
We're gonna hold a piece of celery next to the mic, and I'm gonna go whenever you get close. All right. After that, Sun Vanish continues and says, how the hell do I treat this? The last time I broke a bone was before I can remember. Thank you for all your help and support. I've made a splint and am trying my best to rest now. I drove to the outskirts of the city, but I need more time to heal up. I feel so tired and am still in pain. I need as much strength as possible before continuing towards Danyon. Also, I caught up on the Tucker and Nat situation. I'm so glad they're together now.
I'm so fucking tired about hearing Danyon, dude.
Yeah, I forgot he's still going towards his coordinates before he got like pulled into space. Danyon's dead. Danyon is gone.
If Danyon's alive, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. His body, he better never find that motherfucker. That's all I gotta say. He better be like a puree on the mountainside. I don't give a fuck. He needs to be gone.
A few days later, February 26th, Tucker says,
we're on the road now. She doesn't want to talk about it, but I helped bury her parents before we left. Hope it provided me with some closure for her. Not a 14-year-old girl was able to kill both her parents. Okay. I don't want to be insensitive, but her dad's body was decomposed. I wonder how long he's been there. And then Nat says, I'm with Tucker now. Feeling better and on the road heading back to Virginia where Tucker's bunker is. The way he describes it seems like the safest place to be. I mean, listen, I get it, but at the same time, it's just so creepy. All right, I'm with the 48-year-old industrial oiler.
Didn't we find out that he's actually like 23 or something? Or did we make that up? I can't remember if that was part of the story or we made that up, but
I don't know. Still, just the idea of like, all right, well, I guess we got to go back to Virginia to my bunker. It's the only place we can go, sweetheart.
I mean, he's right. If you have a bunker, that would be the place to go. However, you're also correct.
I got the ick. I got the ick.
Yeah, dude, the ick. Yeah, I got the ick. Nearly a month later, March 17th, the Sun Vanish says, I'm so close to the coordinates now. He's still following the coordinates.
God.
It's been a long time since I've really thought about it. For the past few months, it's been a mindless mission, but I don't know if I should put myself in an emotionally vulnerable mindset again. Whatever happens, happens. So his arm's still shattered, right?
Well,
I mean, it's been a month, so it's healed
never
up,
did anything
broke.
Never did anything to probably set it or anything. So he just has this like gangly fucked arm now. And he's like, Danyon! Danyon! Where are you? Danyon? Can you hear me, Danyon?
Okay, so So the next day, Nat posts a screenshot of a DM she received that says this.
People have been disappearing. And I don't know what I mean for the blue and red lights. I was in contact with a military-protected civilian camp over a two-way radio. After talking to them for a few weeks, I knew the military was being pretty damn effective at fending off the headlights. Using a method the colonel wanted to keep quiet for some reason. They go radio silent a day or two before I get there. When I finally reached the camp, half the military was gone. The rest of the squadron that was there said that the other half was hand-selected by the higher-ups to be taken elsewhere. But they've never been heard from again. There's another force at work here. I also forget that the 14-year-old girl is talking to the military. The colonel.
But it's also
for some reason the colonel's not
like,
messaging me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, like, well, this is a DM that Nat got. So this person in contact with the colonel is messaging Matt.
Right.
But all of the messages that Nat gets are like, I forgot Nat was doing this survival book. So like people are messaging them, but all of the information is like whatever the author's understanding of the military is. Cause it's like the rest of the squadron was taken away. It's like, okay. Anyway, April 1st, so nearly half a month later, Nat posts another screenshot.
I've been monitoring the Twitter chatter for a while, and I can't remain silent for any longer. Because of the nature of my work and the insight I had, both I and my wife had scrubbed social media from our lives a couple of years ago. I'm former Air Force Communications and Intelligence, but that's a few... Just messaging a 14-year-old girl is so funny. You're the only line of resistance we have. But that's a few years removed now. I still know a thing or two, and what I learned in the service did make me a bit of a prepper. Being an early riser in Arizona, I caught what started happening on BBC World News as the veil came down. My wife and I grabbed our bug-out bags. Because the event wasn't nuclear, we headed toward a specific area for refuge. We remained radio silent ever since. It's only my wife, my 2-year-old daughter, and myself in a bunker made for far more. I can only think that maybe the others with the same plan either stayed to keep an eye on the news or try to rescue loved ones. But they weren't ex-military. The siren sounds and you jump. For us, it was the sun never rose that day. We've held up here pretty well, but the lack of radio communications was disheartening. There seemed to be a few ham radios people that managed to hold on to maybe an hour of transmission, but then it quickly went silent. The security cameras told us what we needed to know about the threat. The ships, the strobe light drones, I jokingly called disco clickers to make my wife laugh a little. The only time we poked our head out of this bunker was when we thought that we saw other people. We have 2-stage airlock with blast doors that what the fuck are you talking about?
They're inside of like the ISS.
They're inside a fucking missile silo. We have 2-stage airlock with blast doors that weigh tons. So I knew it was my dumbass. So if I knew my dumbass got killed, my wife and my baby would be safe. Before I even reached the surface, I heard gunfire. The people we saw on camera weren't people anymore. Dealt their fate. The group that dealt their fate told me they were heading south and that we were welcome to join. I tried to have them join my wife and daughter, but they seemed to have a destination in mind. While I gave them a couple cases of MREs, I knew that they knew I had more. They just took what they needed and thanked me. So a guy who worked for the military now lives in like a fucking industrial-sized bunker. Those doors would be insane. Can you imagine that?
He's in a space station on the ground.
I can't believe we're here.
What? And also, like, I know it's like, you know, a horror movie trope or whatever, but the idea of a guy who has his wife and a 2-year-old, and they have an entire bunker full of like food and supplies for himself, being like, I just wish there were more people here. That's what would make this better. Not worse.
I thought what was going to happen I almost thought that you were going to say that the colonel or whatever, the ex-military guy that he's sending these messages to, I thought he was going to tell Nat, be like, you should come here because it's safe. Whatever. And I thought it was going to be that. And I'm like, why else would a military guy be messaging some weird fucking 14-year-old? He's like, we have to repopulate the earth. Duh.
That's that dude in Cube, right? After everyone dies, he's like, we're Adam and Eve, me and you, the new generation. Yeah.
Yeah.
That, just the bug out bag and stuff like that. It's very cute. It's very cute.
Little doomsday preppery kind of meme.
It's like, oh, we got a bug out bag. We're trying to keep people safe. I gave them cases of MREs. It's like, no, you wouldn't. If you were in a bunker with your wife and child, you are not making a noise. You are just letting that play out. Yeah. A month later, April 30th, Sun Vanished says, I went to the coordinates. He finally made it. And there's a video with the message, nothing was there. All right, let's see this video.
No shit, dude.
Wait, the coordinates were just the highway? They're just on the highway?
That's what I mean. I'm like, what do you mean? I went to the coordinates and it's just the highway. I thought it would be like a very specific place on like a mountainside or something. I thought that's what he was saying, right? Or no?
He just said coordinates.
Oh, I thought that back in the day.
I guess last coordinates were just on a highway.
I thought last year or something, it's like, oh, yeah, he like, I don't know why I thought that, but it just seems weird. It's like, yeah, the coordinates are just in the middle of the road. Why?
No, it's because Danyon went out for supplies and never came back. And then I think off of like phone, I don't know, either phone tracking. I don't think Danyon sent a message, but off phone tracking, he found coordinates. So Danyon was like, hey, I'm going to go get gasoline. And then he pulls up the coordinates, and Danyon was last seen like 2,000 miles away. If it took him like, 2 months to get there. So Danyon got whipped across the upper stratosphere. And for a millisecond, his phone like dinged off a tower. So he's like, that's weird. We're in northern Maine, and Danyon, his phone went off in northern New Mexico. That's strange.
I thought you were going to say, and he was, and then Danyon's in Wuhan, China.
Yeah, he went from right here in Maine to Wuhan in 4 seconds. It's so sure weird he can do that.
I'm sure he's absolutely. Well, I guess I have to cross the sea. Gotta make sure Danyon's okay.
I guess I gotta swim. Danyon getting atomized across the lower atmosphere.
Yeah, it's like stretch across.
Okay, so then Sun Vanish continues, says, I waited so long for nothing. He says, my arm hasn't been healing. In fact, it's been getting worse. My veins surrounding the broken part are swelling and getting darker, I guess. And then he says, this car has been following me for the past 10 minutes, and attaches a picture. And there is a car following him. This could have some relation to the car that was seen back in his camera roll. He then says, my blood just went cold, as he shares a screenshot from Danyon that says, pull over, we just want to talk.
Ooh.
That's great, I'm sure.
What if he sent that in Chinese? That'd be pretty scary too. Can you imagine that?
They just threw him all the way to China, and he just like acclimated to the culture. And then he says, I'm doing it, with another screenshot from Danyon that says, this isn't Danyon, but he is safe. Please pull over and let us talk to you.
Would you pull over, Hunter? Would not pull over.
I don't think you should. Sun Vanish continues. I don't even know what to say after that encounter. I attempted recording, but they noticed and stopped me immediately. Made me leave my phone in the car. I'm trying to make sense of what all they said. This is way beyond me. I was expecting a bunch of looters. Of course, they still had firearms, but they were very civilized. There was a man and a woman among the group. They seemed to be the ones in charge. They were using Danyon to get to me against his will. That's why he discouraged me from tweeting and why he left. What? Why? Okay, whatever. Why not just tell him that instead of being like, stop tweeting, I have to go, and then disappear, whatever, okay. They just said they wanted my help. But why not contact me directly? I asked about Danyon, and they just keep repeating, he's safe, he's safe. They want my account. They consider it valuable for reasons they won't tell me. I said I'd consider if they told me why. They wouldn't budge, said that if the info is leaked in the wrong way, it will, and I quote, ruin our chances of survival. I don't know what they mean by that, but it scares the living hell out of me. All right, interesting. So they want his account. Maybe his account, because he's talked before about how no one else seems to be able to get messages out and Signal. Maybe his account's anomalous for some reason. Next day, May 11th, he says, I don't even know what to do now. I finally made it to the coordinates after all this time, only to be met with more questions. I think I've known for a long time, but now it really hit me. I'm purposeless. It's just, what the hell can I do? Except give my account to these people that have Danyon. People have been sending me stuff they've been seeing and hearing. Unusual activity from the military, from the headlights, the ships. I'm starting to piece together what's going on. May 12th, he says, another photo showed up in the Remember album. And this time, it is a photo of, it's like there's a cell tower and a power line on snowy ground, but it's daytime. Yeah, because remember all the other pictures were daytime, weren't they? In the Remember album?
Some of them. The last Remember one was a guy that had the car outside.
That was the last one, but I think the previous 3 were like during daytime. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, maybe, yeah.
Maybe somehow maybe there's something with his phone where it's like there's almost 2 users, one where the sun vanished, one where it didn't.
Like a parallel universe kind of thing.
Yeah. They're overlapping. May 14th, he says, for those of you asking, I don't want to reveal what I might know about these people since I know they're watching every tweet I send. In other news, my arm is getting even worse. There's this dark ooze coming from the wound now. And then he posts a screenshot from a text chain with Danyan.
How much of the contaminated water have you consumed?
I don't remember. Why?
It functions similar to mercury poisoning or lead poisoning. It does not just affect you in the short term. It does not just affect you in the neurologically. It is in your bloodstream. And soon, if not already, all in your vital organs. So he's saying that his broken arm has exacerbated the effect of the dark water he drank.
Yeah, that his injury is like causing like blood poisoning, basically. So after that, 3 months later, it's 3 months with nothing.
Damn.
Yeah. So
also
to
reiterate to people too, this is all like an actual real time. So it isn't just like, oh, it's like they did not tweet this story out for another 3 months. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, there's these long gaps in between. And August 8th, the only one who does speak is Tucker. So the sun vanished was, gone for even longer.
Tucker says, I can't believe it's been over a year since the start of all this. These days, the internet is less and less stable. Buffer speeds are slowing down. Social media is getting quiet. I don't know if it's just because less people are alive or what. I don't really want to know. Nat and I see ships go by sometimes. But besides that, we're living fairly comfortably in our routines for a while now. I hate that life feels normal. I told myself I would log back into this account again, but I had to get it off my chest. I despise this. And then everything nobody posts until November. That's pretty crazy.
Yep. So like another 3 months. So the sun vanished like half a year gone from May 14th to November 12th. Also, could you imagine like another survivor group coming across like Nat and Tucker and being like, oh, what are you two doing in here?
I feel like people would, if it was an end of world situation, I feel like I would just be happy to see anybody that's like normal and living.
Yeah, but there's also like these. Again, it's kind of what the writing. The military's still fine in some instances. It feels like.
Well, yeah, I can't tell if they're setting up like an umbrella corp thing where it's like our military has to do with this. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
No, I mean, because it says they're shooting down the aliens. Maybe they did the thing to summon them. Maybe it's kind of like, you remember in The Mist how that soldier says like, oh, well, we were doing experiments in a lab and we opened up a portal and that's what caused this. But it's not like the military wanted this to happen. They just goofed up.
It's
and
just
made
an
it
outcome
happen.
of them.
Maybe it's something like that. So November 12th, Sun Vanish says, I'm not strong enough. I can't help them. I can't save them. I can't save anyone, not even myself. I've been thinking for a long time, would it even make a difference if I hadn't gone after Danyan? Do the choices I make even matter? What's the point in tweeting to the void when there's nobody left? It's so quiet now. But the irony is, my head isn't quiet. It's like all the weight of the world got crammed into my brain. It won't stop whispering in my head. I think the accident with my arm, I think it opened up something inside me. All my veins look like this. I feel like I have a fever.
That's a fun photo.
But at least I'm still alive, right? And there's like a long black vein going down his arm. So I know they're setting up the deep water thing, but it's also one of the infected people who broke his arm. So maybe that, when he came into contact with him, maybe that exasperated it too. He then says, I made it back home. Everything is just where I left it. It feels deathly still here.
Pretty sure that's like the exact same pattern to the footprints were in last time.
Yep. I think, why did he go back to his house?
Yeah, I feel like if the whole world, it feels kind of weird to go back home, right?
Well, I'm going to go back to my house where like the black water was that I can't drink anymore. Like, how are water lines still? Anyway, they're gone. I don't know if they're still alive or not, but they certainly aren't here. I haven't heard from the group that had Danyan either. And it says, the world has been harvested. What is there left to do? It's over. We lost. That's fun. Harvested. It's interesting.
Goddamn, son.
Again,
man,
back to very
a little bit of optimism there, bud. Good Lord.
It is very War of the Worlds, that whole notion.
This is the last tweet of the year here on November 23rd. Tucker says, she won't speak to me anymore. I sit at the dinner table completely silent. I don't know what I did. How the hell do I fix this?
Then after that, Tucker posts some screenshots of tech conversations between him and Nat. I like how we can't, because of the format, we can't have them converse with each other. So they're going to be in the same place tweeting at each other.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. They're just like, yeah, they have to be in the deal. Hey, what's going on? Why would you talk to me? I guess there's no point. What do you mean? I read the Sun Vanishes tweets and we don't have a chance, do we? Please don't think about it too hard. We are surviving. We're luckier than most people. What happens when our power runs out? Our clean food and our clean water? I don't know.
Very optimistic.
Yeah, very, very fucking cool, dude. We have it at home here. That's what matters, right? I guess. Are you seriously posting these conversations? I'm sorry. I just don't know how else to fix this. I don't talk to you, so your solutions to screens are a private conversation. Smooth. Nat, please, I just want to help. I just want to be left alone for a while. Okay.
They're in the same room.
Yeah, they're like they're like literally just standing across the room and they're just not talking. I'm sorry for posting. I just need to fix this. Besides Nat, besides all of you, I have nobody else to turn to. I can't afford to lose someone else. It's funny to think about the mechanical abominations of the controlled people roaming free above ground while we're down here. It makes me wonder if it's so quiet now because whoever's left decided to give up fighting. And that's the last tweet of the year in 2019. So we're coming up on almost 2 years of this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In actual real time.
Yeah. I mean, it's impressive to keep a story going for this long, even if there's long gaps between it and stuff like that. There's certainly a dedication to it that I admire. It's pretty cool. January 2020.
Fuck. I fucking almost cut up my goddamn finger with my Red Bull can with a little lip. Good God.
Don't say the brand unless they sponsor us.
Oh, true.
Moving forward.
The liquid that turns my blood to oil.
Right. Well, don't say that because I think that confirms we don't get sponsored.
Oh shit.
Hear
Okay.
you say that.
Water. The water cup I was drinking out of.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, January 25th, 2020, the first post of the new year in 2020. And Nat says this. She says, "Thanks to everyone who has been asking about me. I'm doing okay. I've just had to do so much growing up in such a short amount of time. Don't even know why I'm on here now. Guess I miss having somebody to talk to. Yeah, I stuck away from Tucker a few weeks ago. I'm tired of people trying to take care of me and then let me down." Damn, dude. Tucker was the guy who's like, "I'm going to go 500 miles for Nat." Right?
And also having this like coming of age, like I'm not a kid anymore.
I'm not a kid anymore.
Timeline where the sun's blotted out and the spaceships are like vaporizing
14.
people.
Yeah. He wants to act like an older brother to me, but doesn't know how to not control those around him. The surface isn't all that dangerous now. There's still power and internet. Despite the cold and dark, it's pretty normal. Sometimes I see people from a distance. We make eye contact, maybe a nod, and continue what we're doing. I want to say to keep sending your experience in DMs, but does it really matter now? It's the same shit. Nothing is new anymore. The ones who are left know how to take care of themselves, avoid threats, and survive. We, the ones who are left, carry on. Business as usual. Which that was all reposted by The Sun Vanished.
Yes, or at least that last tweet was, I think. I'm not sure, but just in the middle of the apocalypse, I'm not a kid anymore. I can be on my own.
Very Last of Us energy.
It is, and also like that level of well, it's kind of, other than the fact the sun doesn't exist and the corpses and aliens that exist everywhere and the headlights we have to look out, it's pretty normal. There's still internet. Like, okay. Whatever you say.
But once again, we need to take it as if we're seeing the tweets now. You know what I mean? Like in real time.
I know. I'm getting what's the word? I'm getting bitter for no reason. So whatever. So after this, Nat posts a screenshot of a message with the caption saying,
"Nat, please listen." None of this is adding up. How did the U.S. military and every other military we know of just go practically silent overnight? After months of fighting these things, they suddenly give up, and every voice of influence or the reach to civilians also eventually gives up and takes ridiculous amounts of time in between posts. And what did TSV mean by harvested if there are still people around?
And then Nat says in a quote, quoting that screenshot,
I really like, well, first off, I just want to say there's a comment that someone just said, "This is still happening?" Question mark. Yeah, she said, "You should ask the Sun Vanished about what he meant. But what I've gathered through DMs, all I know is any war that we were fighting was lost. You want to stay alive? You have to fend for yourself and rely on yourself. Nobody's going to come save us.
Bruh. Bum, bum, bum. All right. So then after that, February the 5th, the sun vanished tweets, I miss Danyon.
God damn, dude. Fuck Danyon. God damn, I miss Danyon. Fuck Danyon. God. If I've been following this shit for 2 years and if I was like scrolling through Twitter one day and I just saw, I miss Danyon, I'd be like, God damn, dude, I have to unfollow. I have to unfollow. I mean, am I wrong?
Talk to this guy anymore. I mean, yeah, it's just been frustrating. Like, what are we doing?
Let me ask you this so far.
Go somewhere else.
What have you preferred so far? The sun vanished or Gregory 88?
Gregory 88. Gregory 88. Because it was like, sure, the ending was ridiculous, but its high points were more tied into each other because it was shorter. The entire thing was more compact.
Yeah,
this has been 2 years and some months. Like, it is interesting in the long term, but to go 2 months and your only tweet's like, I'm still alive, not sure what to do. It's like, okay, like, you know, it would be easier to function if I just knew for certain that he was alive or not. But all I have is this in between. When I lie awake in the quietness, I can hear him. It's faint and I can't tell what he's saying, but I know it's his voice. And now my only friends, Nat and Tucker, are estranged. I haven't heard from Tucker in ages. Did I fail? I couldn't save any of them. I'm just rotting here with whatever sickness I have, and the ships pass by my house daily. I'm not even worth the trouble to finish off. I do like that note. I'm not worth the trouble to finish off.
Gregory 88 is just becoming more and more like a savant in my eyes. with every passing.
I think if we look at like the first few months of Sun Vanished, I think it's superior with like him looking outside and going to the neighbor's house.
The concept is fun. But if I have to hear about Danyon one more fucking time, Isaiah, I'm going to drive my fist through my fucking screen.
It's also just so dragged out. Like, yes, I understand, but why are you going across country? How are you going across country? Why are you driving that far? Like,
I'm plugging in my GPS coordinates.
How is one person saying this is all normal, but then another person's like, oh, I don't know.
How is their internet?
You know, like,
how is their internet?
Yeah, like what are we talking about? Yeah, I don't know. So after this, the next day, February 6th, Sun Vanish continues and says, where are they going? The ships and the strobe lights. They're still here, but their patrol cycles have been different. Where are they going? About a week later, on February 12th, Nat says,
getting a lot of vague, nonsensical DMs talking about the people? Can you be more specific? Do you know who you are?
About a month and a half later, the Sun Vanish says, Danyon is here. He's in the room with me. There's Danyon, but he's here. It's not nebulous now. He's here. All right, let's see what the pictures. He says, look, and the picture is...
Oh my God. Fuck you.
What?
The picture.
What? I mean, it's a selfie in a mirror.
Yeah, but it's, I don't know. It's just like, look, here he is. And it's like, okay, so you took a bathroom selfie with the flash on?
I don't see Danyon in the picture, right? Is that what is it implying that he can see Danyon but we can't?
I thought he's saying that Danyon is the one taking the picture.
No. I think he's taking the picture, and to him, Danyon's standing next to him, but he's not actually there. That's what I get from it. Also, look at his fingers. You were so right about the long, spindly fingers. Look at that. It's crazy.
I know. Gross, long, fucking little tootsies, dude.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, and after this, he says, he's standing behind me. I can see him in the mirror. Which, yeah, once again, he's not there. And then he says, why can't you see? And then post a video with the word listen repeated over and over again.
Okay.
So there's kind of a breathy whispering noise, but to me that sounds like it's probably just him, right?
Yeah, it's just him sitting there doing...
It's just him freaking out, thinking that Danyon's there when he's actually not. Because after that, he continues and says, he's here, I know it. I just don't know what to say to him. What should I say? I don't know. I told him I'm sorry for everything I did to him. I just want him to stay here with me again, like how things used to be. I'm sorry. There's in another video that says, no, he's gone, and I can't get him back.
I like the top comment says, I'm going to keep it real with you, Chief. He was never there.
Yeah, so the next one, this video is the exact same as the last one. It's the sun vanished kind of whimpering, like crying in the corner, and there's no one else in the room with him. So yeah, sun vanished is losing his mind. After that, Tucker says,
as contamination continues, it's not just repeating words and phrases. You start repeating past trauma too.
And the sun vanished responds to Tucker's tweet and says, you don't have any idea what you're talking about, Tucker. To which Tucker replies,
how do I know all this? Because it's why Nat left. It's why I'm alone all over again.
The idea of them just tweeting at each other like, oh, I'm so lonely. So next we have March the 30th. Sun Vanish says, since you won't shut up about my hand and arm, here it is. But I cannot fathom why that matters right now. I have to find Danyan. So he's completely insane. And his arm, bro, you want to talk about an arm? Look at that. Look at that bad boy. Those are those fingers you've been talking about.
I'm telling you. Big old grippers.
He's got some paddles on him. The next day, March 31st, Nat posts a screenshot of a threatening message they received.
They never left. 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 They never left.
That was good. I like that. That was a good read.
Thank you.
After this, Nat's account doesn't post for over a year. So that's great. April 3rd, the sun vanished, shares a screenshot of a group chat that him, Tucker, and Nat's account being puppeted by an unknown party, with Tucker reposting the screenshots. So
Nat says, we need to talk. Nat, holy shit, are you okay? Are you safe? What happened since you left? Sorry to disappoint you, Tucker, but it's not Nat. She's safe with us, though. Do not worry. Wait, what the fuck? Who is this? Why do you have Nat's account? As I said, she's safe with us. We've been the ones you ignored for a very long time. We contacted you and at the sun vanished multiple times, and you did not cooperate.
It's the people who were on Danyan's phone number and took him from me. The liars.
We are not liars. We are the people trying to help everyone stay safe. Using Danyan and Nat as leverage are not something we like resorting to, but it is justified. Your social media accounts have turned into a beacon for the world. When the news organizations and government broadcasts ceased transmission, you became the new media. Everyone have looked to you for guidance to survive. This is a very large responsibility that we, the people, believe that neither of you are fit to have.
I didn't ask for that responsibility. I don't want it anymore. So fine, you can take my account. I don't care anymore.
Hold on a second.
It's all about a Twitter account.
Nobody's taking anyone's account. Who are you to say what's responsibility we're fit or not fit to have? I've heard about you people, and you have no right to take our accounts. What are you going to use them for anyway?
Why are they arguing about Twitter accounts? If you want to make a Twitter ARG, that's fine, but don't use the Twitter account.
No. Use the Twitter account. We must stop all resistance efforts against the invaders. It only hurts our chances of future survival.
I don't have the first idea what you mean, but if I do what you want, will I see Danyan again?
Of course. You have our word. Just as we promised before. Hold on. Stop it. Stop all resistance efforts? So are you the ones who quietly shut down all the military operations to take those fuckers down? Sure as hell sounds like you are. That's irrelevant now. Okay, sure. I'll take that as a yes.
I need to see Danyan again. I'll do whatever it takes.
Oh my God, stop it!
I'll do whatever it takes.
I want to see Nat again too, but there's no more at stake right now. They're trying to take advantage of our hopelessness. Our hopelessness!
At Lost Sun News. The idea of these people in a post-apocalypse tweeting in a group chat.
We need your Twitter account.
We need your Twitter account.
I need to see Danyan. I need to see the 14-year-old girl.
At Lost Sun News, you said it hurts our chances of future survival. What does that mean?
It means that if we continue fighting against the occupiers, there's a very good chance that we all go extinct.
Dun dun dun.
TSV, you cannot honestly be believing this shit. They just want control. Hell, they're probably working with them. We hate the invaders just as much as you do, Tucker. But we aren't naive enough to believe that we can defeat them. We would just encourage them to wipe us out entirely. We know what they are capable of.
I don't know what to believe. I just need some time to think.
Well, I don't. The people can go fuck yourselves. I'm not giving you anything. You can use me as ransom, but not her. You touch her and I'll break you. Noted. And then Tucker says, I'm packing to leave first thing in the morning. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to find the people or they will find me.
Then on October 24th, the Sun Vanished posts a cryptic video.
Did I ever stop to think about myself? Beyond survival? Daniel, why did you leave me when I needed you? I was living for you. Can't do that anymore.
So the headlights, I always imagine them as like, these big like kind of tripod things walking around to kill people, aliens. But then it's clear for like 30 seconds in that video that it's just a guy holding a flashlight. I mean, like, just don't show that. And like all the monologue, it's okay, we're almost done. Whatever. Okay, after this, the Sun Vanished says, I think I'm beginning to understand. I can't just survive, I have to live. I just thought he died. Was that not his death? Him saying all that and then the headlight thing attacking?
I don't know.
I just killed one of those things. We have a chance to fight against them. You can't hold Danion's life over me anymore. He then says, this is what happened to my old phone. Text conversations, contact list, all gone. He posts like a GIF where the phone's been shattered. He says, my only hope now is to reach out on Twitter to Tucker, find out where he went and track down the people who took Nat. And also, so is that implying that the headlight or whatever just destroyed his phone? And not him.
I guess.
All right. And then after that, the entire story goes dark for over a year, picking back up in October 29th of 2021. But considering it goes dark for a year and considering the current emotions of the room, Hunter, you want to call it there? You want to say that?
I think that is actually where the story concludes.
I think, wow, they never posted again after that. That's incredible.
Our document. So this is the thing. Here's the thing. It's just so long with just nothing happening.
We're not even halfway through. We're 2 pages shy of halfway through.
If people were like, please finish it, which we do sometimes. I mean, it's like the Baraska thing again, where it's just like, I mean, I don't know. You got to read Baraska 5.
Well, that's a little different, admittedly, because Baraska 5 was an unneeded sequel to a good story, whereas this one is just the original story.
I guess I'm just saying, like, if I was in real time following this, it would probably be different. But now, by this point, you're going on without a Twitter post for a year. Even the Gregory 88 thing, it seemed like the person actually had a idea of a story that they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Was that there was a delivered vision?
Was that born from the success of the Sun Vanished, or did Gregory 88 come first?
I'm almost positive the Sun Vanished came first, but there's been a bunch of Twitter ARG, so I wouldn't say, I'm sure whichever one came first inspired the other, but I don't think it was like total.
I mean, it almost.
Like, I don't think one is the sole reason another existed. There were several Twitter ARGs.
This could almost act like a Creep TV episode. I'll say this with these Twitter things. If you're not like, it's different because Gregory 88, I felt like I was actually reading a story. This one just feels like you really have the ARG aspect of like you're voting on things going on, which is cool. or whatever. Should I go? Should I not? Stuff, him sitting outside of a car being like, people, they're looking at me right now. I'm so scared. You have those things, which is like fine and cheesy, but even with Gregory 88, the videos and pictures are the most effective part every time. Except for the kid holding a flashlight that's strobing and walking up to you in a bathroom, but still.
Okay, so the sun vanish started March, April,
2018,
May,
right?
June, July. 3 months before Gregory 88 started.
Oh, there you go.
But it didn't, because Gregory 88 started July 22nd of 2018, and on July 22nd, the sun vanished was at what part of the story? It was at the part where the sun vanished disappears for the first time. And I think this is the part where he's trying to move over to the other house. Yes, it looks like it. So still early on, in the first couple months of the sun vanished, Gregory 88 started. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is definitely something that was super inspiring to a lot of people in that Twitter ARG space. And, here's the thing is, I mean, I think it's an awesome way to tell a horror story and stuff, but as a interactive game that's happening now, I would like to tap out.
It seems apparent to me, especially granted with the gift of time, everything's happening immediately and, maybe it worked better, but just in hindsight, it seems like it's kind of losing the plot. Like, what are we doing? We had interactive elements. Now it's just this guy is going over here and this guy doesn't want to do this thing, so he does this thing, and it's over the course of years. So, yeah, it just seems kind of directionless. So I think we're good there. Again, this is only halfway through the document, so if you guys really want us to do the other half, maybe, but I think for now we're good. I think we're good.
Not everything can be like a Midwest Angelica kind of fun thing. Yeah. But I will say, I'm not discrediting all of it. I'm just saying, we've been recording this over. Guys, if you're reading, not boohoo for us. I'm just saying it's been days. It's been days, and I'm at a point where I'm like, I just want to read something else right now.
Yeah. Just I'm not enjoying the story. Let's just move on to something that I enjoy. And if it was so bad, it's good. That'd be different. But it's not that bad. It's just kind of like standard fare for a while.
At least we got the red Solo cups and a picture of a baseball bat.
We did. That was actually really good. I did appreciate that detail a lot. And also, to be honest, as far as visual mediums and online storytelling going, this does remind me how good we have it right now. Because right now we've got Midwest Angelica, Greylock, The Back Rooms, Mandela Catalog. There's so many creative visual stories happening right now, and a lot of people have nostalgia, the sun vanished was better, this old stuff was better. It's no.
It's just rose covered goggles, little nostalgia goggles, which I will say I really love when people when they have nothing at all besides their buddies and an empty house or whatever, they decide to make something fun. And I think that this is obviously something that caught on with people and touched people's imagination. I think that's fucking
certainly
sick.
came from a point of passion, and I can guarantee you these were younger creators, the guys running this, or the guy running this. So if this was what I wasn't doing stuff this complex or cool when I was 16, 17. So imagine where that guy is now with his creative endeavors. Yeah. So.
Yeah, all in all, I'm glad it's been so long since we've covered another Twitter ARG, so I'm at least happy that we did that, because I would like to kind of maybe not do these that are as long, that are years and years long, but you can't even touch Twitter ARG without people comparing it to this. So I'm at least glad that we got to introduce our audience, for people who don't know what it is, to this endeavor, and hopefully the edit so far was fun to kind of sit through and go through. Also, I want to say too, what we have read you is a consolidated version down of everything. There's so much more that we didn't even
touch the survival logs.
Yeah. I mean, there's this is just to kind of let you know, the just getting from A to B in terms of the story. So if you're into this stuff, there's vastly, vastly more. Just want to say that. But thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. We appreciate you, and we appreciate the long. It's been a long one, a couple of long ones back to back. So we appreciate y'all. We will see you next week. Stay creeped, my friends.
Stay creeped. And if the sun vanished, maybe just grow up and, get better at it, I guess.